对的投上有个
好的周末。
동남아 팀이라고 하면은 좋은 기억이 많았던
되게 큰 부담 없이 그냥 시원시원하게 경기했던 것 같아요.
In Season 1, the result is character is just one match.
当时候是有点失望，那个行程比较紧的关系，然后也影响一些练习的时间，所以打的也不是特别好。
1대1이든 2대2든 당연히 한국이 더 기량이 높다고 생각합니다.
But in Season 2, we have new player and new strategy.
看一下他们一些之前的比赛，然后来做一些研究吧。
시즌 1 때보다 강력한 선수들이 각 팀마다 영입돼서
쉬운 상대는 없는 것 같아요.
일단 처음으로는 시즌 1 때 입단했던 람포 선수하고
람포 선수가 제일 신경이 쓰입니다. 데뷔전 때도 크게 긴장하거나 실수 같은 플레이가 없었고 1대1을 되게 잘하더라고요. 합격을 정말 잘 씁니다.
还是开心啊，新的温控。
그렇게 평가해 주시는 건 감사하다고 생각해요. 그런데 부담은 돼요. 빨리 대회에 적응해가지고 좋은 모습 보여드리도록 노력하겠습니다.
일단 동남아 팀에서는 벤저라이델 선수를
벤젤라이델 선수?
벤젤리데 선수가 아시안 게임에서 우승하는 것 보고 되게 잘한다고 생각해요.
Perkenalkan, nama saya Ridho saya Sumarandak. Saya berasal dari negara Indonesia. Ya, saya merasa bangga bisa menjadi juara Asian Games.
그 선수도 딱히 별로 신경 안 써요. 솔직히 제가 그 경기 봤는데 붙으면 제가 이길 것 같아요.
이번에도 한 3승 충분히 가져올 수 있지 않을까.
但这一次的目标就是全胜。
Good luck to all Korean teams.
완벽하게 이겨드리겠습니다.
Welcome everyone to another week and another day of Clash Royale League Asia. My name is Joel Sophie and joining with me is going to be Paper Thin, and we're back after exciting weeks of Clash Royale so far. We just got into the conference division where we had the teams and kind of clashing off against each other. This week it is going to be all about Korea versus Southeast Asia, because we saw Korea doing pretty well against Japan most of the outings, but otherwise it seems like Southeast Asia coming as a new challengers really want to make a statement here.
Yeah, in last season, we just saw in our little VCR there that Korea went 13-3 overall against SEA. So they struggled, SEA did, against Korea last season. Korea did pretty well against Japan, you were right. They went even. They went 4-4 last week. So overall, a pretty good showing for them. But against SEA, they're looking to continue that dominant performance they had in Season 1.
And we do talk about a lot of the new topics that we should really discuss over, and a lot of the things are really considering about the rookies, just about the new players that are really coming up on the horizon, and really just saying that, we want to make a statement. We want to really show the world that, even though we are, first-timers in this Clash Royale League Asia, the CRL Asia is a stage for all these rookies to really shine, because a lot of the powerful players have been picked up by organizations that does not exclude Southeast Asia teams at all.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And we've seen a couple new ones. Lampo, we got to see last season in Season 1. Actually, I was there for the day that he played and made his debut against Expo Master. So will we see a rematch there? We don't know yet. We'll find out later. But he beat Expo Master in the 1v1. Expo Master got revenge against him later on in the ace match. So really interesting stuff here. But here's our current standing, guys. Korea, Japan, and SCA. Korea looking pretty strong for Kingzone DragonX so far, Joel.
It really is, and the 4 wins and 1 loss with the SG mark of +4 and +8 does make them look like they are still the best Korean team out there, with Sandbox very close to them at 3-2, and OP Gaming really making a mark for themselves, a kind of a nuance with what they really didn't represent in Season 1, but coming to Royale Asia Season 2, they are looking a lot better, and maybe on the equal marks of Sandbox, something they definitely would not have said from that previous season. But just as always, OG and Entus looking as weak as ever, and hopefully they pick things back up soon, guys. I think they really want to pick up some wins, at least in this week against Southeast Asia.
Yeah, definitely. Week by week, they've been looking better as time has gone on. One Crown is starting to look more comfortable. The first time we saw him here in Clash Royale League Asia, he did look a little nervous and a little off balance, but in the last couple weeks, he's played a lot better, picked up some wins for OG and Entus. So here's our matchups today's guy. OG and Entus is playing Chaos Theory in our second match. Kingzone DragonX versus Bren Esports in match 1, and the last game today, OP Gaming versus Kicks. OP Gaming, I've been really impressed with them. It looks like they're putting in a ton of practice. Obviously, we've heard over and over about Jin TV putting in insane amounts of hours, but overall, they do look like a much stronger team this season.
And really, when you're equal in rankings compared to Sandbox, you are doing a pretty good job for OP Gaming. But otherwise, other than those 3 teams that we mentioned about Kingzone, talk about OP Gaming and Sandbox as well, OG and Entus hasn't been up to that same level, so we'll get an idea of how much they can really improve upon, how much they can really collect the wins throughout this week, because 3 days playing in Southeast Asia, I think they really want to collect the wins. So let's look at some of the teams that we'll be looking at for the first matchup. We're going to get Kingzone DragonX on the left side for Korea, and for Southeast Asia, it's going to be Bren Esports.
Yeah, so Kingzone DragonX, of course, our #1 team so far here in the Korea region. Big Daddy Ho, July, and the man himself, Expo Master. But this season, all of Kingzone DragonX is playing very well. They're rotating their 1v1 players. All 3 of the other players have done the 1v1 match. They're saving Expo Master for the King of the Hill. We've already seen him ace an all-kill by himself this season. So really exciting stuff from this team. They're looking very, very strong.
It really is. They're still the strongest team right now in Season 2 for Korea. But you talk about not in any particular order. So you saw Expo Master being listed down at that 4th player mark, but that does not mean that he will not participate in the 2v2 and 1v1. We just have to kind of wait for that to see what the starting lineup is going to be. But let's get a look at this team across the board, looking at Bren Esports and seeing what these 4 players can do today.
Yeah, of course, Bren Esports has only had 3 sets to play so far, or 3 matches, excuse me. So they're 1-2 in their matches. Their win-loss in their sets, they've won 3 sets and lost 4, so they're not doing that poorly. They're just not quite able to get over that hump and win those matches when it comes down to the clutch. No Aim Sai, Manny Knoxville, Jay, Chief Glenn, Trainer Ken, and Mangpong GP.
And we were looking at these 6 players. I'm kind of rotating around to see what the best lineup is going to be. Still, I haven't really figured it out yet, it seems like, and they need more time. But, time is running out when you talk about more and more weeks passing by, and you just can't collect those wins if you are Bren Esports. And with high expectations coming from them in Season 1, they were looking like one of the best teams from Southeast Asia at the start of Season 1. But in Season 2, and sort of beginning right from the end of Season 1, it seemed as if kind of the likes of AHQ are looking better than Bren Esports, and now even Kicks is looking a lot better than they are. So Bren Esports, they do have a lot of work cut out for them, and it seems like No Aim Sai and the rest of the members for Bren, we'll see what they can do against Kingzone.
Yeah, absolutely. Bren and all of SEA seems pretty evenly matched so far from what we've seen. Just kind of like Japan, it's all very, very close right now. But I think moving forward, one of these teams will separate themselves somewhere along the line. Will it be Chaos Theory, who's picked up Benzer Rydell, of course, a very strong player. Ooh, we get our matchup. All right, good. Set 1, of course, Expo Master's been doing the 2v2 most of this season. And No Aim Sai and Jay will be going against them in our first set, Joel.
Yeah, Expo Master, Big Daddy, is going to be banning out the Royal Hogs, and seemingly that's this trouble still prevalent in this meta. And we are very much in the live update, guys, so anything you saw from last week talking about the Goblin Giant, I wonder if we'll get to see that. We haven't gotten the confirmation from our producers. Did we get to see the Goblin Giant last week, though?
Not last week. It was out of the tournament last week. They usually give us a week or so, but I don't know. We don't know for sure. We might see it. It'd be interesting. We finally saw Royal recruits, which was really exciting.
You know what it is? We'll find out as we get into it. But Tornado's going to be banned out from Noinsai and Jai. Of course, with Ho banning out the same Tornado for that 1v1 against Manon GP, who's going to be banning out the Pekka. It seems like July and Trainer Ken are going to be that fourth player for their respective team, just waiting for that King of the Hill. If it does get to them, they will be waiting in the flank, just trying to get the action going.
Yeah, absolutely. Manong GP, definitely the stronger of the 1v1 players that we've seen here for Bren Esports, so I think it makes sense to put him here. He did beat Benzer Rydell, which is considered to be one of the strongest players right now in Southeast Asia. So that makes sense, but this 2v2 I think should be pretty darn good as well. I favor Kingzone DragonX. They've been playing very well overall, and of course, they've always got Expo Master there.
It really does, and 6590 is going to be the trophy count currently for Expo Master. He's been kind of known for holding a very low trophy count while still remaining in his prestige. We're talking about the long time ago when we saw Expo Master in a previous tournament, we actually saw him below 4K. Definitely one of those situations that Expo Master has been relishing upon. He's always tries different things, and that does result in trophy drops at times, but this guy's no slouch. We know Expo Master is one of the best Korean players out there, and once again, he's out in this 2v2, hoping to prove that once again.
Yeah, absolutely. Overall, they've had quite a bit of success with their 2v2s. I mean, they're 2-2, but they've won 6 games, lost 5. So overall, they're a little bit better than 50% in their games. In the matches, they're 2-2. But he's played with a lot of the different members of Kingzone DragonX. They're really big on rotating their schedules this season. They don't really want the same people doing the same thing over and over. They want to have that flexibility and really find out who is going to be their best 2v2, who can they rely on for 1v1s that isn't Expo Master,
right.
And that I think is a great strategy and will probably propel them to the playoffs.
And really, you got to look in the long run. It's going to be many months of Clash Royale before we get to the finals, and Kingzone DragonX, they weren't able to get to the finals last season, and they were kind of held short by Pono Sports that eventually did win out Season 1. So, we're going to get into this 2v2. First one between Kingzone DragonX and also Bren Esports to see who's going to be picking up the first set win. We're going to find out in this first game of this first set, the opening match. Let's get into it. Here we begin the opening game of our matchup between Bren Esports from Southeast Asia along with Korea's Kingzone DragonX. We're going to see a kind of a rivaling situation across both sides, being Lava Hound and also the Mega Minion sent on the left side with the Golem and the Dark Prince. Stands on the right side for Kingzone.
Right, so we've seen a lot of Golem and 2v2 so far in Season 2 of Clash Royale League Asia, but that Electro Wizard's going to do a lot of work there on the left-hand side. The Inferno Dragon cleaning up the pups as well. On the right-hand side, not much support for that Golem, so it's going to be tough for those Golemites to get in to the towers of Bren Esports.
And even that explosion damage coming only for the Golemites is not the best situation if you are Kingzone, but all these small healthy units are going to be just zapped away. So we're going to see some support coming in from the Valkyrie and this Flying Machine with the second Lava Balloon push. But it's going to be a very aggressive one, putting right at the bridge and see what happens here.
Yeah, good placement on those guards to distract the Miner. He's only going to get a couple swipes in there. But I think the Flying Machine got one hit in there as well.
I don't think so. I think it was just side out.
Just side out? Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to check on the replay for that. But
a fair amount of, yeah.
It is about who gets the win. That's the most important thing. And one Flying Machine hit does quite a bit. And talk about that one zap. You don't want to get the swings from the Mega Minion. Once again, very successful in defending that one.
A little bit of laughing there.
For the observers, actually. Yeah. I don't know if you're allowed to do that.
I'm not sure.
We'll see, but we're seeing another golden push on the right side once again with this time the regular Prince backing him up, and once again a Tombstone is going to be a great defensive tool, making sure that explosion damage doesn't go towards the Prince's tower.
Right, a poison this time to counter the Tombstone. Inferno Dragon on the left-hand side to counter. Oh, there's the balloon. Here comes the Lava Balloon push. Inferno Dragon, you do not want that to lock on the Lava Hound.
Tombstone's right there, but we're going to stop the charge from the Inferno Dragon. I'm sure they what they want to hear, Kingzone, but still going to get a pretty good defensive effort, even with that Mega Minion just swiping down the likes of the balloon. But we're going to see this right side after getting rid of that Tombstone with the poison a little bit earlier. Getting a decent damage down to 10-17.
Yeah, an effective push for King Zone DragonX on the right side. They're coming out a little bit ahead in the exchange, but this miner getting a couple swings in for Bren Esports. The flying machine out to defend the guards. Another golem and a lumberjack this time on the right-hand side.
Just trying to get the rage on, and it's going to be charging towards, and finally the rage does come through the golem, but are we going to see any charges from it? Just trying to get close enough for the explosion damage will be good enough. Gets that one gromp in, and it will get the explosion damage in time. The golem should be good enough to finish this one off. 68 should be pretty easy to take care of.
Yep, they got to hold off for the next 13 seconds. This balloon comes in. The tombstone will drag the balloon a little bit, just long enough to prevent the bomb from getting through. And that should be all she wrote.
Only 5 seconds, not going to be enough to take down 1178 off of their opponent's tower, and just going to put right on the coffin, and just put that golem. Very successful from King Zone DragonX. Seems like Expo Master and Big Daddy definitely here to play today.
Yeah, absolutely. The Golem Prince decks have been very popular, especially since the Prince got that buff in the most recent patch. He's got a lot more health now, so he can tank a little bit more. You time that with the poison, and it's really hard to get anything to stick on the Golem and the Prince.
I mean, the first time around, the Tombstone did a very good job of stopping out the Golem from reaching the Prince's tower before it got the explosion damage, which was a good defensive tool for Bren Esports. But, you know, that one-trick pony doesn't always work when you do it over and over again. And the poison was a good nullifier. That the second time around, even that third time, where the Golem was able to get in. Even those little Golemites, you just can't ignore the damage that they do, along with the explosion damage. That's pretty well, and it's going to be good enough for 2 pushes, enough to take down the tower.
Yeah, and definitely I think the biggest thing that King Zone DragonX had going for them here was they had enough aerial defense, right? Yeah. They had Electro Wizard, they had Inferno Dragon, they had Tombstone, they had Mega Minion, so they were able to defend these Lava Loon pushes very effectively.
All these turret targeting units out there, you talk about the Balloon, you talk about the Lava Hound, they're all there, and making sure to just lure them away with the Tombstone always does the job. So King Zone DragonX, they definitely were prepared for the defensive efforts, in addition to bringing out the Prince to help out the Golem. And it's going to be a good way to start off for the Korean teams, and we're going to see if Bren Esports can kick things back up. Of course, we're going to have Game 2 very soon here.
Yeah, generally speaking, so far, what's been interesting about this season is, especially in 2v2, teams are just willing to just play the same deck over and over and over.
Right.
So I don't expect King Zone DragonX to change their strategy. They might change a card or two out here or there because they might expect their opponent to not do Lava Hound and the Balloon again. They might try something different. But guys, we're going to get into the second game here between King Zone DragonX and Bren Esports. King Zone DragonX takes game 1. Can Bren Esports take game 2? Find out now.
And here we are for the second game after that 1-0 takeaway from King Zone DragonX. And you do say pretty similar decks being played out once again. They're just hovering over the Golem and the Prince. You can see on the bottom side of your screen. And oh, that's a weird placement of the Prince. I don't think that's what you want to, but barely, okay.
It just barely sticks behind it. That was close.
But look at this, the Balloon coming through, and even with the Electro Wiz, can we get the swipe away? That's gonna be enough to hit the one pop. Doesn't get through, so that miner's gonna be doing the damage, but I'm sure that what they wanted a little more was a Balloon.
Yeah, they just didn't have an answer for that Dark Prince Balloon push, and then the miner behind it as well. The Dark Prince taking so much of that damage, but at the top right, the Golem's gonna get some big swings in here.
It really is, and the sped up in this attack damage and attack speed, and making sure you do a lot of damage over time. That's gonna get it already down to that 801 in addition to the poison.
Yeah, so both teams pretty much an even exchange there. King Zone DragonX came out just a little bit ahead, but it was pretty much the same. Okay, they've got their own Golem this time. Interesting.
So they got their own Golem and their Prince as well. So in addition to the Miner, the Dark Prince as well, but the Balloon is there as well. So Golem and the Balloon in the same deck is something you don't see quite often, but we're gonna see what happens here.
Yeah, Inferno Dragon locking onto that Golem. They've got the Mega Minion and some bats
good bats.
this time. Good bats, yeah, very good bats. The lightning a little late there from Bren Esports.
It's a good one if you're looking for Bren Esports trying to get the Balloon through it. Last time around, the bats weren't even there for King Zone. They're still able to win the game. And you know what this means though? With no bats, every time they're able to counter things like the flying machine you see right now in the middle of the screen, along with the bats, right onto the Balloon. It's going to be such a good defensive tool for King Zone.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Bren is able to save that zap and use it properly against those bats, because sometimes they might be forced to use it against other units.
And now we're looking at this once again. Just a Lumberjack trying to go off a defense, and the Miner gets a few swings, which is nice, but we're going to currently have a 570 T-bar on the left tower for King Zone. So another golem push, a little bit aggressive there to get into the double elixir, see what's happening. But double golem, just trying to finish off the 801, trying to get the explosion damage is what they're trying to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Poison coming down. A zap to slow things down just a little bit. Miner on the bottom left from Bren. Is this going to be enough? Both golems getting very, very close.
Explosion will be good enough, and 326 will be no slash for all these golems pushing through, and that's about. Bren Esports, can they get this with the Miner? It summons it in, and the poison will be good enough. But that Lex Wizard resets the Miner at 98. It's going to go down to the Fireball in the end, but gonna go to overtime, most definitely. But who's going to get that other tower? It seems like King Zone's already on the upper end.
Yeah, so far about 300
Oh,
ahead.
but look at this. Oh, that was cheeky. Putting the golem on the pocket right as the Prince was charging in, making sure the Princess Tower was going for all that. But you see the balloon was not very well taken care of. And explosion damage with the poison will be good enough. So very sneaky play. Coming in from Bren Esports on that occasion, very nicely done. Every focus was put on that Prince, and they weren't focused on the pocket. The golem coming through, the balloon coming through as well. No defense setup for that for King Zone.
Yeah, exactly. And even if they did have defense, I don't know what they could have done. That's such a scary push there. I mean, even if you drop Prince, Lumberjack, Bats, Inferno Dragon, I think you're still going to get enough damage through there with the poison as well on top of all of that, that there's just nothing you can do to stop that.
That's going to be really just head tilter if you are Kings of DragonX, and more so that they're going to take a timeout. And it seems like that last matchup did not do them much favor. It seems like that double golem push, definitely 16 elixir investment obviously, but it does go to a very good explosion damage to that tower. It will finish off that tower, and they were seemingly on the upper end, but it really only takes one chance, one good push coming in from Bren Esports to really just knock an entirety of your tower, and we saw getting done there.
Yeah, right. So you got to wonder if they're going to have to try to find an answer for the balloon. You know, they were able to defend it fairly well in the first game, but because of the golem in there as well, that's just so much tank for that balloon.
And that's really incredible. You guys talk about one zap having such a big factor in all these games here, but the zap had to be used for the Prince, because otherwise it would have charged directly head front to that Princess Tower on the right, and that definitely would have destroyed the game a lot faster than it did.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So it was just an awkward timing for King Zone DragonX. Yeah. They had dumped their elixir into the left-hand lane, and they just didn't have enough to defend there in the right. And again, I don't know that they would have.
You know, we always talk about that theory, defend first and attack later, and sometimes that theory does come through, but we saw, obviously, Bren Esports looking at that, all the investment onto the left side, just put everything in the pocket, and boy, did it do a good job.
Yeah, I mean, that's just so scary when you see those cards drop together. Not a lot you can do. What can King Zone DragonX do here? Because I think the balloon is the scariest part of all this, right? So Iwis you got to keep. Obviously, Mega Minion's fine, but it's not the best against the balloon. If the Mega Minion left alone with the balloon will come in and get at least one hit. So you got to find another answer. Are you going to try minions instead of bats, maybe? Because the bats get zapped, the minions at least stay alive after they get zapped.
I mean, the bats proved to be very successful on the first rotation of that defense for King Zone, but the second time around and future events, the zap was there every time for Bren Esports. They were saving it just for the bats only, and it was a good investment. 2-for-2 trade, but you're definitely gaining a lot more for that spell if you are Bren Esports. So very nicely done, and see what this gets. Game 3 leads to.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be really, really close, but Bren Esports with that heads-up play, dropping everything together.
Well, let's go into Game 3 between these two teams, currently at 1-1 even. The winner of this game will take the set. Let's see who can do it. King Zone DragonX versus Bren Esports, Game 3 underway. So the last time around, Game 2, Golem Balloon was the answer from No Aim Slide and Jai from Bren Esports, and we're gonna see that again. It seems like we're getting a look at the balloon on the top side, and we're also looking at a very similar event, but here, coming in from all these heavy investment on the left side with the balloon, can they stop this one? Zap's just gonna slow things down, and the Fireball once again does a very good job of knocking back, and that left push for Bren Esports non-successful.
not as successful as last time. They're going to get a decent amount of damage out of that miner left alone there. But last time they knocked it down below 1,000. This time only to 1482. So great defense there on this right-hand push. So far, Bren Esports coming out ahead in this initial exchange. That Dark Prince balloon push is really scary.
There it was, but it was fairly well stopped. But that miner, nothing to do, and wrong guess on the estimate of where that miner will land. So taking a lot more damage once again. The guards really no effect there.
Yeah, Bren Esports definitely taking a page out of the Japanese team's books, really using these miners very effectively, throwing them into different locations, keeping your opponent guessing with where you're going to land with it so you get those extra swipes in. Nice poison here. Can the Lava Hound connect onto the tower? A miner for Kingzone DragonX as well now.
Hey, the Lava Pups there as well. That's going to be a lot of damage. Trying to get the Zap, trying to get the Electro Wizard, anything to make sure these Lava Pups do not do the damage. But look at that one little miner. Still telling that story. 774 on the right side. Kingzone is up ahead.
Ooh, here we go. Guards Balloons miner this time for the push. Only a Mega Minion so far to defend some bats as well.
The bats, and not even on the balloon, but the Tombstone got delayed just for a little bit. But how long? Oh, almost very good enough to take it down before it got that one pop. But eventually the explosion comes through, and that's going to be already a tower for Bren Esports.
Yeah, a nice push by them. Once again, they're coming up with these really creative pushes, throwing units in front of the balloon, guards, the Dark Prince, other types of units as well. So, okay, Kingzone DragonX feels comfortable to push this left-hand side. It is at 448. That's not quite 2 poisons.
No, it's not really, and they do have a fireball, they do have poison, but literally just trying to go for this tower onto one push. Smart idea, but can they pull it off? Seems like the Prince is still charging on a Dark Prince, doing a very good job of making sure this Golem is being mitigated for, and the good guards coming in, but the Dark Prince will handle all this.
Yeah, the right-hand side, very scary. Both teams doing a lot of damage to each other right now. That tower does go down, but the bottom right, down to 775. Top left, 903, so very, very close here.
Yeah, all these fireballs that are coming through, just trying to get the chip damage on, and the Lava Hound towards the Dark Prince. It's going to be lured in by that Tombstone once again, and even the guard slowing things down. The miner is there for Bren Esports. It's going to get one swipe each and every time, and the Mega Minions doing a very good job defensively. Bren Esports, are we going to see the damage come through? The poison is not going to be the finisher here. The miner, once again, coming for both teams. The Zap's coming through both ends as well, but it's going to be that 63 damage, one enough for that one swipe of the miner. Bren Esports, very nicely done to take the set.
Yeah, they're excellent balloon play. They're giving us the hearts that you often see here in Korea. Those are actually hearts when they put their fingers together like that. It's like the bottom half of a heart, right? So really funny. Great games from them. Great balloon play. They only had to use the Golem that one time. Otherwise, they were able to just get it done with other interesting combinations with the balloon.
And while many people probably would have predicted that Kingzone would pick up this 2v2 set, even with Expo Master on this lineup, Bren Esports still takes that first set and builds up a lot of confidence going to set 2, because with all of this, it seems like Bren Esports just might take the first game here.
Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely see them taking this. They've got Mangnong GP, that's hard to pronounce, Mangnong GP, coming up next for Bren Esports against Ho for Kingzone DragonX. But let's take a look at the highlights here from these matches. This was game 1, where ultimately Kingzone DragonX does take this match.
And it was very conventional, just taking the Golem, pushing into lane, and he had the Tombstone for defense, Bren Esports, but very easily countered by the poison. We knew that was going to be the end of the story. Every time the balloon was countered pretty well here. There was nothing else, none of the win conditions that came through. Bren Esports, so easy win for Kingzone game 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And it seemed like after this, moving on into games 2 and 3, that Kingzone DragonX's defense against these balloons, they just didn't have the quite the right answers, especially when they put the Dark Prince in front of it or the guard. These units that have shields that actually are pretty effective against stuff like the Electro Wizard and things like that, because you're just buying a lot more time.
A little bit of adjustment coming in from game 2 for Bren Esports. Just kind of abandoning the Lava Hound altogether, just going for the Golem instead. That was the key story to that game, and we saw a tower trade to the piece, but this one last push, too much for Kingzone to take care of. When you get that 8 elixir running on that 8 left side, we knew nothing else was going to be coming on defense for Kingzone on that game 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Game 3, once again, very, very close. A nice push here from Kingzone DragonX with the Inferno Dragon, the Lava Hound, and the Miner, getting some good work in on that tower. The Electro Wiz, though, does so well against that combination.
Really did, and had to invest another Zap through just to make sure those Lava Pups did not do a lot of damage. They eventually lost the right tower, but trading it 1-for-1, we thought it was going to be Bren Esports taking about, but he a lot closer than we initially expected. All these poisons coming through, all these fireballs, and it really was all about the minor damage and the chip damage in the end, and that became the importance for Bren Esports taking that one little swipe that was good enough to take the win.
Yeah, and great tombstone placement there by Bren Esports at the end to drag that balloon over to just attack the King Tower. So overall, great stuff from them. Very impressive balloon play. I loved what I was seeing. Now we're moving on to Ho versus Manong GP. This is, I think, actually Bren Esports just could take the match here.
Really it. I mean, Ho is not the most thrives player that we always like to focus upon when we talk about Kings on DragonX. Always usually being about maybe Big Daddy, maybe a little bit of July, maybe a little bit of Expo Master, but not really about Ho many times than not. But this guy, with 5,300 trophy count, has to be the one to pull things back together for Kingzone and has to get them into a King of the Hill set, because otherwise, if team loses this one against Manong GP, that's going to be the end for Kings on DragonX already in the opener match.
Yeah, absolutely. Ho did win his only 1v1 he's done so far, not including King of the Hills. He beat Dabong TV 2-1. So he's got experience here. He's a very solid all-around player. That's exactly what we saw in his infographic, that he wants to be the all-around player for Kingzone DragonX, going up against Manong GP, who won his game against Chaos Theory's Carolus. A 2-1 victory there as well. And in fact, another interesting thing to note about Manong GP is he did beat Benzer Rydell in a King of the Hill battle against Chaos Theory.
And we'll see what this all correlates really into. Tornado Ban on the left side for Kingzone, and see the Pekka Ban on the right side. But what is this going to mean for game one, where Bren Esports has already had one set? Can't they get the second set? Manong GP really needs to put on his power tool, see what he can get done. Let's go into game one. And let's get into it. Game one between Ho, a team that really needs to pull things back together and try to get this game one at a time. I'm going to start off with early cycles here with the Rascals onto the bottom end. The minions just splitting onto the right side, and we'll see what this Miner can do.
Right, Miner gets onto the Rascal, Girl a Tombstone, changes his direction. Yeah, very good Tombstone. So not much doing from that push there on the right-hand side. Electro is to defend against the Rascals in the top left. Poison coming down here from Ho.
And that Poison, I don't know if that was the best investment. Now he's going to be lacking a little bit of elixir, but just good enough to summon those Goblin Gang to make sure it's going to be nullified in terms of Bandit charging in.
Yeah, it ends up just about coming out even. Just a very slight advantage for Manong GP in terms of Elixir. You know, I'm kind of interested to see why the Tornado. Are we going to see a Hog Rider or the Royal Hogs here? Miner coming in.
Mega Knight?
Mega Knight? From, this isn't interesting. We've never seen something quite like this.
Yeah, but the summon was,
he missed.
He just missed on the Miner.
Yeah.
It wasn't the toughest one to hit, but a little bit disappointing for Manong GP on that occasion. With the minions coming in, hoping for good support. But with the Miners coming in as well, we'll see what happens here with the Tombstone. Bench going to go down very soon here.
Right, absolutely. The Pekka ban definitely makes sense now if you want to play Mega Knight. Pekka's a very good counter to it. Oh no, these minions doing so much damage to this bottom left-hand tower of Ho. Down to 890 on that push. Minions, even if there's just 3 of them, do a scary amount of damage to towers.
Yeah, when unhandled, that's going to be the situation that we're always focusing upon. But it's going to be about this Bandit stopping the Miner. Very nicely done. Dicted from Manong GP, but Slog is going to just take things away. It's going to slow things down just a little bit as everyone, both these players, is going to be reaching the top elixir mark and going to get into the double elixir mark very soon here.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm curious to see what Ho's last card here is. He has a lot of options for what that could be. I could think of many cards that could fit into that slot. Right now it feels like kind of like a control style from Ho, but so far, most of the damage being done here by Manong GP.
Just gonna go for all in here, but that you can't forget about that Mega Knight. You can literally destroy to shreds from your Goblin Gang, and you have to know that if you are a Ho, and a little bit of off focus there, and that Mega Knight is still gonna get to charge in, it seems like, but the minions there once again to take the charge here.
Yeah, so Inferno Dragon was Ho's last card here, so definitely more of like a control cycle kind of deck here for him, but that tower does go down.
It's just really easy if you got the Mega Knight and you have basically a full raid of troops charging in onto one side, literally an empty tower, and it became an easy one for Manong GP. All you have to do is summon the Mega Knight, basically who wins the game.
Yeah, Ho just doesn't have an answer for the Mega Knight. None of these cards actually match up well against it, not even the Rascals. He doesn't have, you know, anything that's tanky enough to really deal with it. And on top of that, you know, Manong GP has Electro Wizard to deal with the Inferno Dragon.
Really does. And you talk about basically nullifying the counters that could come your way from Manong GP. Basically, the only counter that he's fearing is going to be the Inferno Dragon, and the Electro Wiz every time is going to be ready to be summoned down. And nullifying basically everything too, just to make sure a lot of Elixir is going to be invested by your opponent just to take down the Mega Knight. Then you can just attack the other side with the Miner.
Right, I mean, you have to use Tombstone. Mega Knight actually does really well against Tombstone. You gotta use Goblin Gang, it does well against that. You gotta use Rascals, it does well against that. He just doesn't have an answer here other than Inferno Dragon, and if you have Zap and Electro Wiz, the Inferno Dragon is basically nullified.
I mean, talk about Tombstone being summoned out, you talk about that Goblin Gang being summoned out just to stop the Mega Knight, but not really even killing it. Nothing else to stop the minions. That's what happened on that first push, and already got it down to 3 digits. And basically, this push right here, literally nonsense. Because when you talk about the Goblin Gang going through, you know the Mega Knight's gonna be there every single time.
Yeah, exactly, Joel. Just not much that Ho could do there. It was just not the favorable matchup for the deck he brought. So let's see how he changes it up. What can he do? Will he bring his own Mega Knight? I was kind of expecting something like, you know, Royal Hogs or Hog Rider because he banned Tornado, because that's generally what we see eventually somebody pull out there. Of course, Mega Knight makes a lot of sense with the P.E.K.K.A. ban. You could see a lot of different other stuff here. There's plenty of other options available.
Anything of a Giant, anything of the Golem, anything basically can just chop down from the P.E.K.K.A. We're going to be having it banned out for this occasion. We're going to see the Mega Knight once again from Bren Esports, or we're going to see something else. But it's going to be match point. Can we take the lead here and take the win here for Bren Esports? We're going to find out this game too. We see Manong GP after that first game win, 1 game away from really upsetting Kings of DragonX, beating them in this opener match. Of course, the Goblin Barrel coming through, the Mega Minion is going to be minimizing the barrel damage there, but otherwise we're going to be seeing pretty conventional plays coming from Manong GP. We talked about the Giant being a possibility, we're going to see it right now.
Yeah, Prince coming in here. Prince does a lot of damage to the Giant, but that Mega Minion's doing some work now. That Goblin Gang comes down just in time to prevent the Mega Minion from locking onto the Prince.
Talk about the Elixir lead already coming in through it. That's going to be see the Royal Ghost helping out, and the Prince is going to be hold back just a little bit. It's not even going to get a single halt. It's going to get a single stab onto that tower, so Ho a little bit rushed it there. That log takes in a lot of value from Manong GP.
Yeah, exactly correct. That log took out a lot of units there for Manong GP. So definitely kind of a Giant beatdown style here. Ho looking for more of a cycle deck this time. It's almost like a spell baitish kind of deck. It feels like you've got the Princess, you've got the Goblin Barrel, you've got a ton of other Goblins, Bandit. Definitely kind of a spell bait.
I mean, Ho is literally just trying to go pretty desperate plays here and just charging that Bandit onto that bridge. I don't think that's the best play coming through. The Prince is going to be charging in from the left side. The Witch is there, and that's going to be the ultimate counter for that Prince.
Yeah, that Prince is not going to quite get onto the Witch, but here comes the Goblin Barrel. Does he have the log available? Nope, he's just going to let the Witch deal with it, but in the bottom right, the Giant getting so many hits onto that Princess Tower, and here comes the Royal Ghost.
Nothing more than literally just getting the 3 elixirs in. That's going to be way too late, taking already a lot of damage onto the right side. Even that Mega Minion is there from Manong GP, and the Bandit is not even going to get the charge.
Nope, great placement here by Manong GP. He really seems to have Ho's numbers so far.
Got that one swipe. Ooh. You gotta limit those 1 swipes coming in from the Mega Minion. Zap anything you need to do just to make sure that basically a couple hundred damage does the big wow. Just laking.
Right, the Mega Minion swings slow, but he hits hard. Here comes the Prince to counter the Lumberjack. The Lumberjack locks onto the Princess Tower, though.
It's not about the left tower, though. That's what we really consider into importance. And probably the poison coming through it. It's just making sure that the Prince charges in directly to that Witch, and it does a very good job. Once again, the log getting maximum value there once again.
Yep, excellent stuff here from Manong GP, handling these quick pushes. Yep, here we go. Zap comes down to eliminate most of that. Nothing doing.
Ho literally is been countered on every angle here. You talk about the Spirit. Come on, you're sending the Spirit Goblin hoping that you do something there. The log will be there every single time. The cycle is too fast for Manong GP.
Yeah, Manong GP and Double Elixir just has too much going on here. Offensive poison comes down. I'm sorry, defensive poison from Ho. So that's really, when you're using poison defensively, that's when things are getting desperate.
And really, you know what's going on here. The Lumberjack will be charging and the Bandit will be carved down. And can it reach the tower though? 5 elixirs there. Of course, the Prince will come through just in time.
I think that was a bit of a hurried Royal Ghost there.
Yeah.
It will do some damage to the Prince, but that is not maximum value he could have got out of it.
We're looking at this, the Prince is going to be charging it. It will get one stat, but it's not really about the right tower. It's about the left tower being invested upon by Ho. So Goblin Gang once again coming through. Not much AoE damage coming in from Manong GP. This is becoming a little bit of a problem. Giant is not going to get a single swing here.
Yeah, Manong GP just needs to keep the pressure on. He just can't let Ho get through with a couple units. Just try to make even trades. Get your offensive spells down onto his tower. Use the log against these. Oh, he didn't have the log available.
Good Royal Ghost coming through, but we talked about the Goblin Barrel placement being so desperate. Trying to get the damage through. It's going to put it on the bottom side. And once again, no AoE damage against these Goblin Gang. It's just going to opt for, once again, this coming through. And the Lumberjack is trying to get the damage done, see if he can get past the Prince.
Right, meanwhile on the left-hand side, that Royal Ghost did a lot of work to that other tower. So Manong GP gonna have to play defense here again. Good Mega Minion placement. He's still ahead just ever so slightly here on Ho on that bottom right-hand tower, but Ho is closing the gap rather quickly.
And now we're looking at this once again, the Lumberjack coming through, and it's gonna be just making sure it gets the charge in, the rush coming through. The Rage is gonna be speeding up. The Giant is gonna get a couple hits, and that's gonna be one hit required with that Fireball finish, and it's gonna be the end. Kings of DragonX upset here.
Not what we expected at all. Almost a clean sweep here for Bren Esports. Kingzone DragonX only winning one game, and that was in the 2v2. The next 4 games went straight to Bren Esports. Awesome showing from them. Really like what I'm seeing. They're really happy about this. A great start for SEA here in the divisional rounds.
Great accomplishment by these guys. Bren Esports, not the best start to this Season 2, but beating up a top team in Korea, literally on the 4-1 in terms of records. That's what Kingzone has been really relishing upon, really being proud upon as well. But when you're Kingzone, when you're still the top team in Korea, but you lose to one of the bottom teams from Southeast Asia, you got a lot to think about.
Yeah, exactly. That was a surprising sweep there by Bren Esports. I mean, Kingzone DragonX just really looked out of sorts. Ho looked like he was very, you know, heck bent on going with that kind of cycling style. He didn't want to get away from it, despite the fact that Manong GP was playing the beatdown style and his decks just weren't quite the right counter for it.
And really, you gotta talk about Ho. When you're really in a desperate situation, you're trying to summon everything at the bridge. Just right now, even at the double elixir mark, that's gonna be something that you want to really regret in this situation. Nothing to do if you are Ho, and really has nothing to really counter for it, but you still have to make sure you put up your best effort. But Ho, I don't know if you could have played better on that situation multiple times.
Yeah, there's just game 1, there was nothing he could do. Game 2, he started to come back, especially in double elixir. You know, Manong GP started to have a little bit of trouble countering so many of these units. These spell bait decks are very, very tough to deal with in double XP if you're quick on the draw with dropping the units.
The Giant is really having a hard time reaching the tower, and last time around, the quick adaptation from Manong GP was to send the Lumberjack in front. That's going to summon the Rage, just allowing the Giant to walk over to the tower a little bit faster, get that one swing, which was all the more vital to get that Fireball finish in the end.
Right
there.
Yeah, it was really sparked by Manong GP to save his log for the push on the bottom right-hand side instead of trying to defend against the Goblin Barrel at the end with it. He got a lot more value using it for the push at the end to give him and secure him the win.
And really, we talk about the success of Bren Esports they had from the beginning of Season 1, but really not much after that. And we're going to see what the players have to say from this interview. Let's hear from them.
네, 인터뷰 시작해보도록 하겠습니다. 승리를 가져간 브렌 e스포츠. 진짜 멋진 경기 보여줬습니다. 노웨임 싸이 선수와 함께 해보도록 하겠습니다. 먼저 축하드립니다.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
감사합니다. 네, 다 한 번 더. one more.
감사합니다.
그거 준비 또 많이 게임뿐만이 아니라 또 한국어도 준비를 많이 해가지고 왔네요. 자, 일단은 먼저 한국의 1위인 킹존을 상대로 승리를 가져갔습니다. 간단하게 소감 먼저 들어보도록 하겠습니다.
So you've beaten Kingzone, which is number 1 in Korea. What are your thoughts?
I think it's a good start for us here in Korea because we badly lost in Season 1 and now we want to redeem ourselves from our loss way back in Season 1.
네, 일단 한국에서의 좋은 시작인 것 같습니다. 저희가 시즌 1 때 좀 좋지 않은 성적을 거뒀기 때문에 이건 한국에서 정말 좋은 시작이라고 생각합니다.
일단은 말씀해주신 대로 시즌 1에서 킹존에게 패배를 가져갔었습니다. 좀 아쉬웠었겠습니다만 어떻게 준비를 했나요? 킹존을 상대로 이런 부분을 좀 분석했다. 어떤 게 좀 있었을까요?
So, like you have said, you have lost in season 1, but you have won now. So, what preparations have you done, and what kind of preparation have you done?
Our team now strategize in a group. Way back we strategize individually. Now the ideas and suggestions comes in a group, and better ideas come up. So we have a better and stronger team now.
예전에는 네, 준비를 개인적으로 좀 했었는데 이번에는 좀 그룹으로 준비를 많이 해서 더 좋은 아이디어, 더 좋은 전술을 이렇게 가지고 나왔던 것 같습니다.
확실히 예전에 비해서 또 선수들도 굉장히 또 많아졌고 그렇기 때문에 서로 간의 전략 공유 이런 것들 굉장히 잘 되지 않았나는 생각이 들기도 합니다. 아까 전에 선수들 승리하고 나서 리액션이 일본 못지않은 리액션이 또 나왔습니다. 손가락 하트, 핑거 하트, 핑거 하트, 요 손가락 하트 나왔는데 요거 한국에서 원래 많이 하던 거거든요. 이거 어디서 배우셨는지 되게 궁금해요.
So after each game, when you win, you always like do this, the finger heart. Where did you learn this from? Because this is really famous in Korea as well.
So I really like K-pop, K-drama, and everything about Korea. So all of our teammates know the finger heart. So we do it every time we win.
네, 저는 한국 드라마, K-pop 이런 걸 엄청 좋아하기 때문에 그쪽에서 배우고 또 저희 팀메이트들도 이렇게 이런 하트를 많이 쓰는 중입니다.
K-pop. What's your favorite K-pop song?
Blackpink, 마지막처럼.
블랙핑크
한번 더 뭐라고?
마지막처럼.
마지막처럼. 블랙핑크의 마지막처럼. 근데 좀 이렇게 불러줄 수 있나요?
Can you sing it for us? A little bit.
마지막처럼. 마지막처럼.
뭐 한국 사랑, 뭐 블랙핑크 사랑 뭐 엄청납니다. 질문 괜찮아? 블랙핑크 중에 누가 제일 좋은지?
Who's your favorite in Blackpink?
제니.
제니!
and also
통역 필요
Jisoo.
없어요.
And also Jisoo?
예, 통역이 필요 없을 정도로 완벽합니다. 얼굴이 빨개졌어. 자, 어쨌든 한국에서 또 바로 또 승리를 가져가면서 좋은 분위기 계속해서 타고 있습니다. 이제 한국에서 승리 많이 얻어가야 될 텐데 다음번 경기가 OGN 엔투스와의 경기가 준비가 되어 있습니다. 각오 한번 들어보고 마무리 지어보도록 하겠습니다.
So next you will be competing against OGN Entus. What is your determination?
We still want to win, even though we win today. We still want to improve ourselves and practice more so that we can compete in the playoffs and win the CRL Season 2.
네, 우선 이번에 이겼지만 다시 한번 이기고 싶고 정말 충분한 준비를 해서 플레이오프 때 이겨서 마지막에 이제 챔피언이 되고 싶습니다.
그렇습니다. 사실 저번 시즌만 하더라도 조금 스피드 초반의 분위기는 좋았습니다만 점점 힘이 빠졌었거든요. 이번에 처음부터 스피드 쫙 올리니까는 계속해서 좋은 모습 보여주기를 바라도록 하겠습니다. 자, 승리한 브레인 스포츠 다시 한번 콩그레츄레이션 하고요. 그리고 저희는 잠시 쉬었다 돌아와서 다시 경기 전해드리겠습니다.
So that's gonna be it for Bren Esports doing that interview. We're gonna go to a short break, guys. We'll be back with the second series of the night, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back, guys, to Clash Royale League Asia Season 2. After that first series went to an upset against Kings on DragonX, with Bren Esports taking that win. Very nice for them, and got to find out. Knowing Sai really likes Jisoo and also Jenny, so got good taste. So, no, I'm not really doubting him for that. So, second surprise might be on the way, guys. OG and Entus and Chaos Theory Derby going to be in the lineup for the second series of the night. And of course, Paperton, you've seen these guys before. Kind of disappointing on both different things here, but OG and Entus still has yet to pick up a single series win. So against the Korean teams, they have not had success. Even against the Japanese teams, no success for them. Well, Southeast Asia, especially with Chaos Theory, looking like one of the weakest teams that we have in the entire Southeast Asian region, might be the key for them to pick up the first win here today.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see their roster here. One Crown Hall, Shodan, Smokey, and Q Mills. One Crown seems to be settling into their 1v1 role. We'll see if we keep him there. He did win his game against Bob Gaming last week against Oz. So I don't know for sure. We'll find out in a little bit. But it seems like the other players have been rotating around their 2v2s, trying to find the combination that works best for them. You know, 0-5 start, that's a tough start, but they got to start changing it now. Now's the time to turn around if you're going to do it. We're only on week 4. We've got 6 more weeks to go. There's plenty of time.
Still figuring things out, but we always do say, Paperton, you only got so much time. She has to figure things out pretty soon enough. And OG and Entus will be going up against this team, hoping to grab their first victory of the season. And it will be Chaos Theory from Southeast Asia, currently holding a record of 1-2 in the local as the bottom team of the standing. And it's going to be JTV, Raybag, Careless, and Benzorido. We talk about these 4 players individually. They have all had their own moments and seemingly can put up a good group of players, but when JTV doesn't work out in the 2v2, and when Careless doesn't work out in 1v1, and things kind of just mix up back and forth, and it doesn't lead to many victories for these guys. 1 victory so far, but they're looking for more.
Yeah, absolutely. Their 1 victory came against Bren Esports, a team that we just saw do very well against Kingzone DragonX. So absolutely, they have a shot here. I think this is a pretty even matchup as far as things go. I don't really feel like there's a favorite either way. You know, both have strong players. You know, Chaos Theory has this new player, though the one that everybody's talking about, Benzer Rydell. We'll see how he can do. We've seen JTV and Ray Bagus before, veterans of Clash Royale League Asia. So we're gonna get our matchups.
Oh, okay, so maybe this is the matchup that we've been all waiting for. 1 Crown, kind of the anticipated player for OG and Entus. It's going to be on that 1v1, but against who? Benzorido, the winner of the recent Asian tournament. And we'll see what this all results into, because it's very similar bands coming through from all angles here. 2v2, it's going to be just like the Tornado with Howlin', Shadow, Smokey. Not really one that. Just the same for JTV and Careless. So Golem ban on the 1v1 for 1 Crown, but otherwise, once again, a Tornado ban for Benzorido. So we're going to get these players here. Of course, 2v2 can be interesting, but I think we're going to be focusing a lot on this 1v1.
That's a really exciting 1v1, right? This is the 2 players that were talked about as the best rookies possibly in Clash Royale League Asia. Benzer Rydell in the SEA region, 1 Crown in the Korea region. That's going to be a really exciting matchup between those 2 players. I can't wait for that match. But first, we've got the 2v2 here. Hall, Shodan, Smokey, JTV, and Careless. I don't think any of these guys have played 2v2s together.
They really haven't. And Howlin', Shadow, and Smokey, they're just waiting for their opportunity to make a statement. For OG and Entus, of course, both teams, they'll be looking very direly for their first win. And Chaos Theory, they've been looking for their second win, but it feels like a first win because none of the wins that came through were very convincing. So they need to prove to us that it can be a strong team from Southeast Asia, but Chaos Theory have not yet been able to do that quite yet. But against OG and Entus, it might be their best shot yet.
Yeah, absolutely. They have a good chance here to take a win, keep things very even in the SEA region. Yeah, absolutely. I just looked. Hall and Shot and Smokey have not played 2v2 together this season. JTV and Careless, neither have they. And so far, it was JTV and Benzer Rydell playing the 2v2s for Chaos Theory. OG and Entus has been changing it up every week, so it's not too surprising to see them do that again.
So it seems like 1 Crown and Benzer Rydell will be the highlight, basically the show match of exactly what we've all been waiting for. But 2v2, we'll have to get underway very soon here, Paperton. But Howlin', Shadow, and Smokey, what can we make of them? Seems like the pieces and puzzles of what we've been seeing them through for the past couple of weeks haven't been very good. So hopefully this can mean something different for these 2 players, where of course Q Mills is going to be waiting in the sidelines along with Ray Baggage for Chaos Theory. But these 4 players from these 2 teams, they're really looking for a win. They're really hungry. They're trying to get that first win on the board and do it convincingly, and that's the most important thing for them right now. So 2v2 is coming up very soon. Of course, we have a lot of expectations for these 2 teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like maybe in the 2v2 here, OG and Entus has a little bit of an edge. Hall has done very well in the 2v2s for OG and Entus. He's 2-1 when he's played in them. Him and One Crown, in fact, have won 2 times. When he played with Q Mills, they lost to Rad and Yakitori of Bob Gaming. But overall, Hall seems to be their favored 2v2 player. He's played the most 2v2s for them. So I feel like they have a slight edge here, but that being said, JTV is a veteran of 2v2. He's played every 2v2 for Bren Esports as well. Hasn't had quite the amount of success that Hall has, but he's still got a win under his belt.
You know what it is, JTV and Careless, they'll be looking for this 2v2 win. Not many wins for JTV, 3. He lost a lot more by losing 5, so altogether, Careless and him, we're going to be just looking for that win. And of course with OG and Entus, talk about how getting those 5 wins on the board, but he lost just as many as well, losing 4 on that board as well, so not the best of trade as you want if you want a lot more wins than losses. But of course you see Shadow Smooky on your screen here, standing right next to Hall, just talking about a couple of things before we get into the match, and so just trying to control their mentality just to make sure they're absolutely ready to get into this game and be focused, because trying to bring their top tip potential of their top tip conditions is something that these 2 players are trying to do here.
Yeah, absolutely. For what we expect to see, it's starting to become kind of normalized in 2v2. We've seen a lot of golem play. Every once in a while, we'll see somebody try like the Giant Skeleton Royal Giant combination. That hasn't really had too much success. Lava Hound Balloon has some success as well. Occasionally we'll see those cycle decks where they'll use like Rocket and Goblin Barrel and that kind of thing. So we haven't seen too many crazy things. The only time where I was really shocked was the Royal Recruit Day, where both teams just decided to play Royal Recruits every game.
Hey, for that 8 elixir, sometimes you do feel that you're getting a lot for your money, but it's when you kind of leave the store and kind of realize that Royal Recruits for 8 elixirs, it wasn't the best altogether, and trying to go for that refund, they don't give you the refund on that one.
There's no refunds available
no.
for the Royal Recruits. It's like a sale when you go into a store and it says something on sale, but that was actually the same price it was a week ago, and you buy it, you're like, oh, it's 20% off? Oh, but if you would have looked at the price a week ago, it was the same price.
And you look on eBay and it's much cheaper than the actual price you bought it at the sale, and it's the original price on eBay actually. So, a lot of confusing things about the Royal Recruits. Still having things figured out in terms of how much that value does go for Royal Recruits. So we're back to us, and seemingly we're still needing more time. And it feels like a device issue is going to be something that's happening right now. So hopefully we can get into it very soon. But, we got into the first series. We were quite shocked at the fact that Kingston DragonX wasn't able to pick up that win against Bren Esports. We thought it would be a pretty easy convention for them to get that done. But Bren Esports, very nicely done. So we're going to the second series, OG and Entus. Of course, the Chaos Theory. These 2 teams very hungry for a win right now, and we could be in for a surprise, I think, both ways.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some really unexpected combinations of things. We've seen a few pretty wild decks here so far in Clash Royale League Asia. We've seen some really heavy decks where a team, a player, I believe it was Rotoporon for Ponos Esports, brought out a deck where he had 3 Musketeers and the Barbarian Hut and some other things. It was crazy. So, people are trying different things here, and I really like that. I think that's really exciting. And the fact that we have new cards coming out fairly often, about, once a month or so for Clash Royale, keeps things fresh and interesting as well.
It really does. And we talk about the meta constantly getting updated as to, what we should expect from certain cards. And Prince has been the big story of this current patch that I recently did come across. And just about a few weeks ago, it seems like Prince was seemingly used just conventionally, and some people that always like the Prince would always use it because it wasn't a weak card. It still has some good tanking capabilities along with decent damage once it connects to the tower. But, with the buff, now it just seems like an overpowered card that everybody almost seemingly has to use if you want to make your deck successful. And it can be a very flexible pick. Obviously, we can go into and fit in very nicely with multiple types of decks. And, with the archetypes being very open to this current patch right now, we could see a lot of variety. You talked about Rollaporon from Pono Sports doing his part to bring out the variety as well. So, hopefully we get to see these 2 teams with One Crown, especially. I'm excited for that one. Him against Benzoride, see, what we're going to see from these 2 players. A lot of creativity in line, lots of really high-paced action in terms of getting these wins very much the inch of perfection into, you know, they're making the difference into getting the win here.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen, like I talked about earlier, One Crown seems to be more comfortable. He's playing more fluidly. He's not really making many mistakes. He made a few mistakes the first time we saw him. He looked really nervous. He's gotten a lot more polished since then. He looks very comfortable now. I expect good things out of him. I'm really excited. We get to see Benzer Rydell's 1v1 debut here, a very highly touted player.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what he brings us. It's really exciting stuff. You know, going back to the Prince, I think it's really interesting now that it got the buff, because cards like the Miner and the Knight that you used to be able to use to kind of tank it don't really do that anymore.
No.
The Prince comes out ahead now, whereas before it was fairly even if the Prince was on your side of the Princess Tower. Now it's like my Knight would win that battle. Now he really doesn't.
Oh, it really doesn't.
Yeah.
And you talk about used to be the Zappies do very well against the Prince before it got nerfed. Even that first attack doesn't come through with the Zappies attack speed initially. Do a lot faster than the Prince get to charge in. So after the nerf though, we do see that one Zappy always go down. Even if no matter how fast you summon, no matter how early you have it, that one Zappy will go down. So the Prince automatically wins out a pretty good value there. So, you know, altogether, other than the Electro, I don't see a huge direct counter to the Prince right now. It just feels like it's just so strong. And of course, we do see all these swarms. You talk about the minions, you talk about the skeleton army, you talk about the goblin game. They're all there, but you know that's a very easy counter when you have the zap, when you have the arrows, and when you have all these things to take care of it. But Prince, I mean, doesn't need another nerf. I mean, that's a question out to the developers, obviously. But we do see that Prince has been a very good fit into a lot of these decks so far. But we saw it already. A lot of these players individually on the 2v2s and the 1v1s having utilized it very well. So hopefully we'll get to see some variety soon. Of course, a little bit less Prince. It's going to be preferred by me personally.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing is a lot of guards come out because of this. The guards are a pretty good counter to the Prince that doesn't just get logged or zapped right away. So I think that's why we're seeing so many guards in both 2v2 and 1v1, because people are a little bit scared of the Prince right now. You're right, Electro Wiz does well against it as well, but you need to have more than one option to deal with that Prince, because if he gets the charge on the tower, it's ridiculous. It does so much damage. It's so bad.
It really is, and especially if you're unaware that the opponent has the Prince, you're just kind of questioning over that aspect as well. So, you know, hopefully we can get into the game very soon after our long discussion about the Prince. And I think the two players will be ready to bring out the Prince, seemingly. And seems like Kumil is going to be just coaching right behind the views, and Shout and Smokey and also Hal just ready to play here. See what they can bring through. Of course, 30 more seconds for these two players. All with the two players on the right side. These two players that you'll be seeing with obviously Ray Bag is coaching them from the back. See what these four players can do today.
Yeah, absolutely. Having plenty of time here to prepare. Of course, now the bans do come out ahead of the matches, unlike last season where our bans came out right before the match started. Today, the bans come out 30 minutes before anything starts.
Right.
So
broadcast.
Yeah, they have plenty of time to prepare, and even here, you know, you get an extra minute or so to prepare as well before the games. So these teams are very, very well prepared for these 2v2s. We've seen them very much try to stick to the same strategies in their matchups each week. They don't feel like deviating from what they've practiced from.
And really, they're going to be ready for the first game, but probably going to be surprised by some of the cards that the opponents will bring to the table. So, now hopefully, we're going to get to see some exciting matchups for this first game. So we're about to get into it. Set one between OG and Entus, Chaos Theory, to see who picks up the first game win and gets ever so close to that first win they've all been looking for. Let's get into the game. And after that long wait, we are finally in the game. JTV and Careless from Southeast Asia's Chaos Theory going up against OG and Entus, and a quick start with the Royal Hogs, with the bats as well as the Tombstone, doing multiple duties right there, but it's not going to nullify all the damage.
Yeah, a decent amount of damage coming on that top left tower of Chaos Theory here. That Hog's still going to town on it. Even with the nerf, the Royal Hogs still a very powerful unit here.
I mean, when you get the Miner, just literally tanking for that tower every single time, the one little Hog does a lot of damage over time. It doesn't matter about the nerf. It will just, if you leave it to withstanding, there's going to be a lot of damage on the other end.
Yeah, exactly correct. We can see the balloon in hand here for Chaos Theory, a golem as well. So they liked what they saw last time from Bren Esports, trying to mirror a little bit of what they were doing here with the golem and the balloon.
You can see the Prince coming through, and the good Inferno Tower is going to be ready, but it's going a pretty bit early, so a lot of time to think about if you are Chaos Theory. Just thinking about the balloon might be an option here. Definitely not going to be lured in by the Infernal Tower.
Oh, and a
Obviously,
freeze.
the freeze that comes through the balloon. The bat's going to be coming through and just going to get the drop through it. The second drop, it might come through as well, so it doesn't really. So the explosion damage is going to get rid of all these little minions out there, and the bats are gone, and the Infernal Dragon's going to be gone by the flying machine. So very good offense already starting in from Chaos Theory.
Yeah, but a pretty decent job defending there from OG and Entus. They didn't take as much damage as they maybe could have, except for now that's down to 558. So here comes the counter push by OG and Entus. The poison chipping it down a little bit, but not much else doing. Can they defend against this push from?
And the Royal Hogs absolutely nullified by that tombstone, and with all those swarm units, just making sure to pick up the pieces of that pork. And they're definitely ready to go in. It seems like the defense, very nicely done for Chaos Theory. It seems like they can come up with the counter. Once again, a Royal Hogs coming through. Do they have another tombstone here? I don't think they do.
Wasn't available this time. A nice zap there to get rid of that Infernal Dragon, make sure it didn't lock on. The miner did get decent damage there on that top left tower of Chaos Theory, but here comes their push.
It's going to be the bridge summon of the Golem, and the Prince will be coming through as well. The zap will be coming through, but the Infernal Dragon, the Infernal Dragon still be charging in with the balloon as well. The Mega Minion still doing a very good job of stopping things in the track, and that one little bat is going to be able to get the damage onto the balloon, but it's not going to be good enough before the Golem can destroy the tower. So now, going for a counter push on the other end, it's going to be OGN.
Yeah, the guards here trying to defend this push. OGN's got to be a little careful. Their King Tower taking quite a bit of damage here, but that push on the top right-hand side of Chaos Theory takes that tower down to about half health.
56 is going to be exactly the damage from that zap needed to take down the left tower. So pretty easy for OG and Entus to get the left tower down. Now they're just going to be focusing all on the right, but not having going for the zap right away, just going to go for the miner. Pretty easy takedown, but the Fireball doing a very good job once again against the Royal Hogs. We're going to see what this can do in this instance. Once again, Electro Wiz, very nicely done to counter the Infernal Dragon.
Yeah, the Inferno Tower comes down here for defense by OG and Entus, but there are so many units here in a freeze. I don't even know if they need it, Joel. There it is.
Oh, that's a freeze. That other line time, the Golem would be pushing through the balloon and get the second drop almost, but Poison will be coming through with the explosion and all these damage that are still left withstanding on the back. It's going to be good enough for Chaos Theory to take that set one, game one victory. So once again, Southeast Asia on celebratory mode right now, because it seems like after Bren Esports took down Kings of DragonX, it's been all about Southeast Asia.
Yeah, Southeast Asia looking very strong. Their balloon play in the 2v2s proving to be very difficult for the Korean teams to deal with. They're just not finding answers for it.
And you got the bats, you got the Mega Minions, you got all the right tools to take down the balloon, but that freeze. It's all about that story. It's all about the freeze of the right timing, and oh man, you talk about the Royal Hogs chipping down damage over time, but nothing really beats a balloon. Nothing really beats a Golem when you combine with it. The damage can be quite real.
Yeah, it's hard when that balloon has units in front of it to deal with the Inferno Dragon, the guards, the other thing, not the guards, I'm sorry.
The Mega Minion,
that kind of thing that, that can't lock onto the balloon, because the balloon just kind of keeps pushing by regardless of what's in the way. And also, OG and Entus did not have a tombstone here to try, or any kind of building, except for the Inferno Tower, to distract that balloon, and the freeze was dealing with that tower very well.
And you gotta realize, how tanky the balloon can be sometimes. You talk about really easily taking things down as slow as it goes. At the bats, obviously the Mega Minion does a very good job. The Infernal Dragon does very well as well, but and when you got basically the Golem and you got the balloon pushing it at the same time, there's a lot to think about. You talk about the ground units being able to kill out the Golem, then the explosion damage probably knocking down things to a very low health. And you talk about the air units, just being able to take down the side of that balloon. So now OGN, along with Kingzone, they had too much to think about, and they couldn't pick out the game one. It seems like they want to get a game two, but it seems like Chaos Theory wants to close this out in this 2v2. We'll see if that happens. Let's go on to game two for the next one. Here we are once again. Alan, Shadow, and Smokey failing to win out this first game. We'll see if they can do it in this next one.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like they're kind of sticking with, so far, more or less what we saw from them in game one. Same thing here for Chaos Theory. Yeah, the Royal Hogs. They've got the Tombstone, they've got the guards. Poison's coming down here from OG and Entus.
With that one little Royal Hog, a pretty good job, obviously, with the miner once again tanking it very nicely. 1173 on that first push, but what after? That's the big thing, because it seems like if they have a big push coming out for Chaos Theory, then it seems like last time around they didn't have an answer with this deck, and they see the freeze once again. I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, but this time OG and Entus bring a freeze of their own. Really interesting stuff here from them. Chaos Theory so far just looks about the exact same deck, but wow, that's a fast tower for OG and Entus here. This game going a little different.
It really is about Chaos Theory. Literally wants 3 crowns all at the same time. That's what they're wanting. The freeze coming in defensively, so one can see an offensive freeze as well. So this is very cute coming in from both teams. And look at all those units. Just imagine if you had a rocket for this one.
Yeah, okay. The Inferno Dragon gets taken down. This Golem still at half health. The Prince getting swings in as well. This is getting really dangerous for OG and Entus.
3 crown maybe?
This could be a 3 crown.
The 3 crown. The flying machine. They have no poison. They have no poison. Uh-oh.
Okay, they had the Valkyrie, I believe, in there.
That's it.
That's
flying
it.
machine. Should be good enough. And one more fireball. Anything. Let's
Wow.
go. Yeah, the log, that's all you need.
That's all. That's all it takes. The log does 84 damage. So that's all you need. That was really well played there by Chaos Theory. The timing on that push, so good. They were like, all right, you know, OG and Entus, you can push the left-hand side. You can take that tower. That's fine. You don't have enough to 3 crown. We have enough to 3 crown you.
I know Chaos Theory was going to go for 3 crowns at one point, but I didn't know it was going to do that at the first freaking push of this freaking game. And oh my goodness, Chaos Theory. I don't know if it was Chaos Theory doing well or OGN doing bad on that situation, but that defensive freeze, sure, it held off the units for like maybe 4 seconds, but what else do you do?
I mean, you know, what was OG and Entus' change in that deck? Frost. They brought Frost instead this time. Why?
What do you do?
What is the point?
It stops the billions of units coming in from Chaos Theory on that bridge, but it doesn't kill them.
It's not long enough. You're not going to do enough damage from the Princess Tower to get enough value out of that card, the elixir that it's worth. 4 elixir, pretty expensive spell. You're just not going to get enough damage out of it, especially with the ability of Chaos Theory to counter freeze.
It's like, it slows down your death, but you're going to die anyway. You're just making your death a little bit later.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. No, you're absolutely right.
I mean, that's the best comparison I can make. Is that you talk about game 1 being pretty well sorted out because that deck was a little bit complete in terms of that Royal Hog coming with the Bat, coming with all these units that can support it, and with the Miner doing a very good job of tanking the tower every single time. Does a good job, but game 2, that OG and Entus deck of basically having the same deck that they lost with, and switching up 1 card to bring up freeze, it doesn't make sense to me.
No, I think minions is the right answer to what's going on here. Because you've got to wait until that balloon gets over the river and there's nothing else in front of it, so you can drop the minions. Nothing. Yeah, exactly. And they can counter freeze. And I mean, that freeze that was a little bit of a misplacement there on the freeze.
Yeah, sure, you could have gotten the Princess Tower.
Yeah, but nonetheless, it didn't matter. It didn't make a difference.
But you know what it is? I mean, the freeze, defensive freeze, sometimes it does work out when you have units that can kill off the other units while the freeze is happening. But it was freeze and nothing else.
Yeah, and they also didn't have a real good answer for the Golem other than the Inferno Dragon. There wasn't anything like a mini P.E.K.K.A. or a P.E.K.K.A.
Inferno Tower?
Inferno Tower. I mean, they had the Inferno Tower, but they couldn't use it.
I mean, P.E.K.K.A. would have been great.
Yeah, P.E.K.K.A.'s great there. Absolutely.
That wasn't great. You know, in comparison, we talk about what's great, we talk about what's not great, and that 2v2 by OG and Entus not great on that situation. So hopefully this 1v1, of course, the main event of what we've been all waiting for, Paper Thin, 1 crown. Let's see what he can do. Let's see, can he bring his team back to really just survival point right now? Because if they lose against Chaos Theory, that's gonna be 0-6 for this season 2. And oh, you talk about bad start. That's going to be the worst start possible for the Korean team.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Joel. I think this is a turning point for OG and Entus this season.
It has to be.
They have to win this set. They have to. Or else 0-6, I mean 0-5, if you go 1-5, okay, you're still definitely in it. We've seen some teams last season that came back from big deficits like that and make it happen. And yeah, you do have a little more, you have 2 more extra weeks of play this season in Clash Royale League Asia. So you have a little more breathing room to come back, but I really feel like this is where they need to find an identity. Can 1 crown be that 1v1 guy for them? Or will Benzer Rido play the spoiler here and show his thing? You know, he's been highly touted.
I mean, you talk about put pressure on that young player. 1 crown from OG and Entus after they know, basically, this 1 crown. He's a top player from Korea. Came into this team thinking they're going to win many games, but found themselves losing a lot of games. And sure One Crown, there's a lot of confusion in the air as to what he is supposed to be expected out of his team, but we still have this main event, this main match between Benzoridal and One Crown. See if we can get a win towards OG Entus. Let's get to it. And here we are, One Crown putting out the good locks towards both players, and Benzoridal's here to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Spear Goblins and a Miner come down. Goblin Gang to defend here by One Crown. So guards as well from Benzoridal. Nothing too shocking so far. Miner very favored by a lot of players. Of course, One Crown with his own Miner as well. Ooh, not good Mega Minion play. Yep.
A wrong estimate coming through the Miner. You always want to kind of wait things through. At least take one hit, but make sure you don't guess it completely wrong. What you're trying to do. See the mortar coming in from One Crown, and this Hunter, unlike this one.
One Crown likes the mortar. He likes it. We've seen him play the Expo as well. So he's definitely a building kind of guy. He's going to do well against that Hunter. That Hunter doesn't even get a shot off. Meanwhile, we have the Giant Prince push coming on the right-hand side for Benzoridal.
Giant Prince with the Hunter. We've seen this deck before with the guards. It's a very trending deck nowadays. We're going to see what this all leads into. The Giant will eventually die out from the pokes coming into the Prince. The Bat's doing a very good job of handling things through, but it's Prince. It's Prince.
Oh, okay, the guards with the log.
Almost got the charge.
Yeah, just about. So he gets a little bit of damage out there. It was really interesting that One Crown forced the zap out of Benzoridal onto that Goblin Gang before he dropped those bats, and the bats ended up cleaning up the Giant and the Prince there. So a really nice play by him to bait out that zap.
Just trying to go with the spell bait. That's what he's trying to do at One Crown, and just making sure that zap is on from the Goblin Gang. Then the bats receive maximum value because basically, if there's no zap to take out the bats, then the bats can be very, very highly valuable.
Right, you do have the Hunter in the back there and a poison as well, so it's going to be tougher to use the bats here.
Go Gang.
Yeah, good Goblin Gang though.
Go Gang coming through to the rescue, and the Prince will be able to poke things down to the Giant. One Crown looking very good for now, and gotta summon the Miners, see what he can do against this Hunter.
Yep, guards come in to defend, but that Miner's getting a lot of swipes in. But Benzoridal seems confident to just make a strong push here with the Hunter behind it this time.
There's the Mortar. It's just a wonderful counter against this Giant here. Not much HP when you've been taken down like that with the both Princess Towers charging it down, and the Miner from the other side for Benzoridal not getting much job work done here.
Yeah, it's just really difficult for him with that mortar placement. The Giant's so slow, gets dragged so far across the map there, right next to those Spear Goblins. The Prince behind this once again. 404 on that top right tower for Benzoridal, so he's 2 poisons away from this game being over.
Basically, the Go Gang doing a very good job once again. The Goblin Gang very, very valuable here, and the Spear Goblin's going to help out with a little bit of a spear toss every now and then. 276 on the right side for One Crown. Not very far away from taking this one here. 201 damage with that fireball, and that log perfectly calculated is going to get that rest of the 75 HP done. And One Crown taking that game 1 gives hope to OG Entus.
Yeah, absolutely. Really nicely played there by One Crown. He seemed to recognize fairly quickly what that deck was because he immediately used that mortar for defense. He didn't try to use it offensively out the gate. So either that could be just a cautious play. He could just feel like that's the safer play to do there, or he might have kind of sensed what these SEA teams want to do here today. They seem to be really favoring beatdown.
Really clean play coming in for One Crown on that situation. All these meticulous plays coming from the micro angles. Very good job for OG Entus, especially for One Crown, and gonna be enough to put all the pressure now towards Benzoridal, calling out a timeout.
Yeah, absolutely. He needs to think about this. This isn't going to be quite the same as it was last time where the beatdown was really effective, but that was because, you know, the P.E.K.K.A. was banned. So this time, even though you could have ran this deck with those bans that happened in the last set, but this time, just slowly but surely, using that mortar placement very well to drag that Giant, the Prince, getting into the Giant right away every time.
And the Goblin Gangs were the MVP, I think, for this one because it seemed like the placement did very good wonders, especially stopping the Prince charge for Benzoridal. And we know how crucial that can be, and really the Goblin Gang placed at the right time, batting out this Zap a couple of times, allowing the Bats to be the MVPs as well. So
right.
Very good usage of all these units. Really, no units wasted there for my own crown.
Yeah, 1Crown saving that Fireball for the end there. Thought it might have been Poison, but it was Fireball. Makes sense. That's the right card to have there. Absolutely finishes it with the log. Very, very good stuff from him. This is the player we were looking to see from OG and Entus. It's been very good for them so far in 1v1s and continuing it so far here today.
We will see if 1Crown can be the hero for OGN, because Entus Rhino looked a little bit shocked after that game 1 loss, and he thought he would mind have taken it, but with that giant push, that didn't work out. The mortar dragging it away every single time, never really fully reaching the tower. So we'll see what Carrier Theory can do. They're really talking about things here, and 30 seconds left. What the referee is telling them, and otherwise, I think they should be ready to really try to come for a comeback and try to go for match point once again.
Yeah, if you expect, you know, 1Crown to go for the mortar deck again, you're going to bring out something like Royal Hogs or Hog Rider. Something like that I think would be pretty effective here. Or you could run your own kind of similar style deck. You could do an Expo or something like that. That's fine too. There's a lot of options here, but you're going to be hard-pressed to run Beatdown again.
Definitely so.
You could do P.E.K.K.A, I guess, but even that's...
Yeah, I mean, P.E.K.K.A beatdown never really is a thing. It's a lot of the P.E.K.K.A control deck, mostly anything, but...
Sure.
Yeah, but we'll look at it. Of course, with OG Entus heavily relying on this one player called 1Crown. Can he get the job done? Can he bring this back to a set 3? Needs one more game against Benzerettos. Let's see if he can do it. Once again, good luck's being thrown out to both players, and Benzeretto definitely needs luck on this one, because after taking that first loss, it's pretty traumatized, and hopefully this doesn't really affect him too long. Otherwise, that poison coming against the Tombstone's gonna be the first play of the game.
Yep, so, okay, the Royal Ghost here.
On the right side.
From 1Crown, that generally spells a beatdown or a P.E.K.K.A deck.
Don't have a golem, so hopefully it is something else that we've been looking at, but Lava Hound going out there. P.E.K.K.A. It's gonna be the P.E.K.K.A beatdown. As we're exactly talking about, the Royal Ghost. Doing a pretty good job of stopping things through, and Tombstone will be there.
Yeah, Lava Hound on the left-hand side here for Benzeretto. So did a good job countering this P.E.K.K.A push. It doesn't get in for the swing. Does he have an answer for that Electro Wizard? Nope, he's just going to let it go. He's got to try to push on the left-hand side with this Lava Hound.
Nothing coming through. That's going to be a lot of damage coming through from as well. And 13-34 on the right. The Royal Hawk's still going in to take damage, but the balloon on the left side, hoping to reach the tower. The Mega Man a bit late there. It's going to get that one drop for sure, but the second drop will definitely be coming through as well. So that's going to be the first tower gone already. Even that third drop allowing to be played out. And that's a terrible play for 1Crown.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got to have that Electro Wizard in the pocket. Now, normally you really need that Electro Wizard to cover the P.E.K.K.A to keep things from like Inferno Tower or Inferno Dragon or various other units from damaging it as much and dragging it around the map. But this time, he's going to have a tough time here dealing with this.
See, 1Crown literally trying to go for 3 crowns here, because it seems like he's not even interested in defending. It's just all about him attacking the opposite side. You talk about that Royal Hawk. After he saw the Lava Hound already at the bridge, I don't know if that was the best play.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see how it pays out. He might feel a little desperate here. He might feel like this isn't a matchup that he feels comfortable with, so he's going to just try something aggressive and crazy and see if it'll come through. Mega Minions countering each other here. A poison from 1Crown to try to defend against this push. The balloon just not getting the hit in, though.
Very, very close. I thought it would just might have reached it. The zap happened from Benzeretto to retarget the Mega Minion on the other side, but all good enough to take down the damage there, and the blue pot would have changed the game dramatically here, but it's still going to be pretty even across both sides now.
Right, Poison will finish this top right-hand Princess Tower of Benzeretto. That's okay. He's already got one down for 1Crown as well. Here comes this Lava Loon push. Will 1Crown be able to defend it this time?
Mega Minion is going to be halted here from this other side, and once again, coming with the balloon on this instant. Nothing's going to be able to stop things through. The Electro Wizard slowing things down, but this balloon is well on its way to get that drop too.
Yep, absolutely a nice fireball
there. Oh, that one Electro Wizard just good enough. on that summon. I think that was inches, literally from inches from getting that pop off.
I mean, that was like a half a second away.
Literally.
Half a second. That was a crazy good timing on that Electro Wizard.
Woo. One Crown showing us mechanics and perfect reaction time once again, and the Royal Hawks going through it, and the Fireball revealed just now is going to be traumatizing for One Crown as the main win condition is going to be the Royal Ghost. The Royal Ghost just charging through.
Oh no!
Oh no!
In the pocket!
Oh my! Oh no, that's a tilter. That's a tilter.
Well,
when you bring out the Lava Hound, when you bring out the Lava Loon deck, and basically you have no ground units.
Yeah.
Royal Ghost is your best friend.
Yeah,
One Crown.
yeah. One Crown, very smart play there, just abandoning the P.E.K.K.A, recognizing right away that he has to be able to deal with that balloon, or else he will lose that game much quicker than he would otherwise. The P.E.K.K.A much slower than the balloon.
And just figuring out the entire deck, he saw the final card that was going to be the Fireball in the end, so basically was thinking to himself, hey, he has no ground units, and I can just go with the Royal Ghost on the pocket, and it will work out, and it did work out.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job by him. Very efficient use of his Royal Hogs. Very good job just abandoning the P.E.K.K.A, just being like, nope, I need the Electro Wiz and my Mega Minion to defend against this aerial push. Really smart stuff from him.
Really abandoning the P.E.K.K.A was a big decision by One Crown, but this is a more convincing win by One Crown on this first game, looking so clean, and every one of its executions seemed basically you couldn't have done it better.
Right, absolutely. I mean, this was just basically perfectly played. He barely took any damage to his Princess Towers, so just really impeccable stuff here.
It wasn't necessarily a good matchup for One Crown, I would think as well. I think he definitely easily could have lost that one if he made a couple of mistakes here and there, but look at that, just so clean. You do nothing wrong if you play like that, and every one of your playing, every one of your units, the placement, just inch perfect.
Yeah, maybe he's got to start using the Miner on the mortar there, does Benzer Rydell, instead of trying to chip damage the Princess Tower. He needs to deal with that mortar. That's actually the biggest problem that he faces there because of its ability to drag the Giant away from the Princess Tower.
And when you look at this, at one push, from the balloon on the right side was going to be the biggest story there. And how about this one? This was the big one that came through. I think that would have been the one to almost finish off the game. Obviously the Electro Wizard doing a very good job. The second Electro Wizard, I think that was a big MVP of that play. If that didn't happen, oh man.
Benzer Rydell gambled there with that Fireball. He had the option of either trying to Fireball the Royal Hogs in the top left or the Electro Wizard in the bottom right. He chose to a Fireball the Electro Wizard in the bottom right. That allowed those Royal Hogs to get in with only the guards and the minions able to defend. They aren't that quick at wiping up those units.
But that Fireball, you need the Fireball and the Zap to take out the entire Electro Wizard if it's not going to be damaged out. So that one Fireball that was thrown to the other side, it didn't kill the Electro Wizard.
Yeah.
And basically, it knocked the Electro Wizard back and kind of halted it for about a point of a second. But you know, what are you to do? It's still going to slow down the balloon, and all you needed was that one pop, and you did gamble that 4 elixir from Ben's Rydell and didn't get much benefit off it, and Royal Ghost, nothing for it.
Yeah, and definitely One Crown got a little lucky there with the rotation. The fact that he got that Electro Wiz back that quickly into his rotation. You know, because sometimes it's hard to know what card's going to come up next, right? So he got a little lucky there and was able to get that perfect timing with that Electro Wizard to wipe out the rest of that push there.
It was very important, and if we didn't get the defense on that balloon at the very end there in that game too, could have been crucial for One Crown. But you know, we are reaching a situation where we have to settle ourselves and trying to get into the set 3. King of the Hill is going to be up very next, and we're going to see the first one this week already with the second matchup of the day, and OG and Entus, and it seems like Chaos Theory, as close matchup as we thought it would initially be, finally does get to that set 3, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. We figured this would be the closest matchup of the day, so it makes sense that it's going to the King of the Hill. So, of course, now we'll have 2 other players available for both teams. I believe it is Ray Baggis for Chaos Theory and Q-Mills for OGN Entus.
So it's going to be Hal, Shannon Smokey, One Crown, and Q-Mills for OGN with the 4 players uniting. And we're going to see, obviously, the rules, so we're going to read it out to you guys one and one. And just basically, easiest way to look at this King of the Hill, if you've never seen it before, literally, you have those 4 guys, you have those 4 players kind of lined up, and just like one at a time, you know, do the 1v1 battles, and then you're going to have the other 4 players on the other side just going to be battling out. And if you win, you knock the other player out. And the more and more you can do that, you survive to the very end. So you don't really need 4 players to actually win the King of the Hill. You can have just win with 1, and definitely could be a case that comes through.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen it a couple times already this season. Expo Master did it once. Nato did it once. So we're looking at some really interesting stuff here. We've seen some players just absolutely thrive in King of the Hill and, get 2 or 3 wins, no problem. It is only a one, you only get one shot. It's not a best of 3. It's just a 1v1. And then, once you lose, you're out. The first team that has 3 losses loses, the other team wins.
And it feels like kind of the grand challenge when you're at that 11 wins and 2 losses situation when you're when you're wanting that 1 win and if you get the loss, all that will be for nothing. 11 win never feels the same as 12 wins in a grand challenge. So, we're at the situation where all 4 players must feel that way because it's going to be basically their final chance for them to pick up the win. Basically just 1v1 forever of a marathon that could come through. It could go very long, Paper Thin, as we've seen all last week. So, hopefully we get the teams settled in very soon. They're getting ready for these games that will come up, and hopefully we'll find out which a better team is.
Yeah, absolutely. So this time it will take a little bit longer because these bans aren't done ahead of time. They're picking the bans right now as we speak. They're deciding what they want to do, what kind of strategies they want to play. If I'm OG and Entus, I'm throwing 1 crown right back out. I'm just saying.
That's the first ban.
Keep it going.
As a starter. I mean, could be. I mean, he's on a roll right now and basically played that 1v1 to perfection, especially in game 1. So I just want to keep up the momentum and maybe 1 crown. Maybe he's the only player that you need from OG and Entus to finish out the entire side of Chaos 3. You do have JTV, Carolus, Benzorito, and Ray Baggers, and of course not superstars in terms of their own strengths, but I think they still have what it takes to take down OGN, and we saw that in 2v2. They looked a lot stronger than basically Howler and Shout and Smokey put out.
Yeah, absolutely. This team, very capable of returning the favor to OG and Entus here, taking them down. Again, I think this is going to be really close. This could very well go to 5 games. Both teams are fairly deep compared to each other. They're very strong. They've got these new rookies that are playing very well, especially 1 Crown's looking very, very strong now. Like I said earlier, this could be the turning point for OG and Entus. They're about 90 degrees there. Another 90 degrees go, and they'll have that 180.
It really is. And OG and Entus, all they really want is a win. All they really want to get is that 1 W on the board already at the 5th week of the season, and week 4, I apologize, of this season. And it means that, they've gone through a lot of the season already, but still hasn't tasted a victory. And that's a little bit kind of daunting if you are OG and if you're already at week 4 and still have yet to pick up a victory. Basically, every other team has picked up a win already at this point. So, it's like when you go to the candy shop and when you look at the lollipops displayed on the stands, but every other kid in the block is able to get that lollipop. They have those 50 cents. They have no references here, by the way, with the lollipop and 50 cents, by the way. But, we do get to that situation. They can get to this situation where they want to pick up that lollipop. They want to pick up that candy, but OG and Entus, they just haven't had what it takes to get the win so far.
Yeah, so we get to see our bans and our lineups. Chaos Theory does not like the Tornado. They're just like, nope, we never want to see this card. We hate this card. They banned it all the way through today. They will be starting with Carolus, JTV, and then Benzo Rydell will be their anchor. Meanwhile, OG and Entus banning the Lava Hound, and we're going with 1 Crown, Hall, and Shot of Spooky. I like what OG and Entus is doing here.
It's exactly as you predicted. 1 Crown kind of wants to continue on that momentum and really bring it through that. Basically, he's saying that, Howl and Shout and Spooky, get some break, because we basically probably will not even need you. I'm just going to do all the work by myself and try to get a clean sweep of all these 3 players. And we're going to see Benzorito, we're going to see JTV and Carolus, and we're not going to see Ray Baggers on the lineup. So wants to count on the players that have already played today. So hopefully these players will be able to bring up the win, because Chaos Theory, they definitely would want to win it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we've seen that Chaos Theory, when in their 1 King of the Hill, they did beat Bren Esports 3-1 in their King of the Hill match. OG and Entus has gone to 2 King of the Hills and obviously lost both of them since they don't have a win yet. They did do pretty well against OP Gaming. They won 2 out of the 3 matches, losing a heartbreaker there at the end. So a little bit trickier for them. They've lost to Ponos and Fav as well in the King of the Hill. So this is do or die for OG and Entus here. They've got to make this work.
This might be their best chance to win out the first win and the first series. They're really looking for it. So 1 Crown, Howl, and Shan Smokey. With these 3 players putting out their strengths together, can they beat out one of the weaker teams in Southeast Asia? If they lose this one and they go 0-6, oh boy.
Oh boy.
We don't know what this will mean for these guys going forward.
Yeah, that would just be really heartbreaking, really tough. You're almost halfway through the season and you don't have a win. That's got to be rough to deal with. They're playing very well. 1 Crown especially is really starting to show up. He's been the player that he was billed to be. A little shaky start for him, but since then he's been quite strong. So teams are going to get a little bit longer for this first game here. They get 3 minutes because we're new. They've just seen these bans, so they get a little bit more time to talk about these kind of things. After this, it'll be 1 minute between each match. But teammates talking it over here, thinking, what should we do? We've banned the Lava Hound. So Balloon is still an option. We've seen that happen from time to time when people ban the Lava Hound. They'll try like Balloon Miner or something like that.
Yeah. So, we'll see what this all comes through. One Crown is ready to play. 3 minutes for him to settle things through it. Does have that ban come through with the Lava Hound. Has that Tornado on the other side for Chaos Theory, so can definitely play the Royal Hogs once again if he wants to. And go for the Golem, go for the Giant. Any type of beatdown push is going to be a possibility as well. So,
yeah.
One Crown for OGN. Can he be that player to really just hard carry them through and pick up 3 victories in a row?
He absolutely can. I absolutely believe he can be. He's just been looking so good recently. On the other side of the things, we've got Bren Esports here, and it's going to be Careless. The first time we are going to be seeing him, but he was the hero for them in their King of the Hill against Bren Esports. He took down Manong, Jipe, and Jay in straight games here. So this guy, no stranger to King of the Hills, very comfortable with it. What I'm curious to see is Chaos Theory going to double down on their beatdown here. That's what they've done really so far, in game 1, and then they tried Lava Hound. That's banned out. So will they try beatdown again, or are they going to opt for something a little different?
We're going to see what happens here. Careless, we haven't seen too much from him other than that 2v2 that he tried to go for the win, and he did very well with him and JTV on the lineup. But as a 1v1 player, we haven't seen too much from him, and hopefully we'll get to see what he can do against One Crown. If One Crown gets knocked out right here, that's gonna be big trouble for OG Entus.
Yeah, absolutely. They really need him to win at least one game. He has been clutch for them so far. He's clearly their best 1v1 player, so they need him to take 1 game. 2 would be beautiful. 3 would be obviously perfect.
They're looking for Careless and still setting things up. 1 more minute for these players to get ready and just really making sure they're absolutely prepared to get to this game. And it seems like all these players, for their teammates, helping Careless out and making sure that he's pretty much set to go to hopefully take a win here against his opponents. But One Crown, it will be a tough opponent for Careless to take on. So with 30 seconds left to go, we'll see what Careless has in mind. We'll see what One Crown has in store for us as we're about to get to this game 1 here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to expect. One Crown's been playing a variety of decks. He could try to fall back onto his Mortar or the other kind of building cards that he likes to do. We have seen him do Expo as well. He could go back to that. The P.E.K.K.A he played very well. He's a very all-around skilled player. There's nothing I can really discount from him other than what's been banned. Careless, we'll see. I'm really curious to see what he's got in store for us. I mean, again, he did win his 2 King of the Hill games that he's played so far this season, so he's very capable.
But against One Crown, can he get it done? One Crown looks pretty impeccable in terms of his ability today. Can the player from OG Entus continue on this dominance to beat out yet another opponent? But Careless, can he really upset the king right now and take down One Crown? We're going to find out in this first game of this King of the Hill. See the Spirit Golems come through from One Crown, but otherwise the Ice Spirit just to mitigate the damage. And once again, the Miner is going to be the card of choice for One Crown in this instance.
Yeah, good Mega Minion there. Placed it right on top of the Miner. About as good as you can hope for there from Careless. He's got the Ice Golem coming here. The Bats for One Crown. Now we can see a little bit of their hands, and I did see a Prince in One Crown's hand. Nice Fireball there to take out the Flying Machine.
Okay, we're going to see a Hawk Rider coming from Careless, and obviously the Mortar is not going to be doing a good job right when the Hawk Rider is in front of you. So Hawk Rider is going to be mitigated for, but we're going to see the Spirit Golem and see what it can do.
Yeah, good placement there with the Spear Goblins. Well outside of range of any other spells for the most part other than Poison to do damage to that Hog Rider while it locked onto that Mortar.
We're going to see once again the Mega Man just taking care of the Miner, but Miner will get its job done before it goes away. 18-15 onto the right side as the Bats are coming through once again for this Mega Man.
Right, so a bit of, just a Hog Rider cycle deck, a little bit of a different take on it though, with the Flying Machine and the Ice Golem here. here. So maybe a little bit different than what you're used to seeing with Hog Rider cycle decks. No goblins here to back it up.
We know Prince can be a good counter against the Hog Rider, but when the Prince is going to be halted every single second by those little skeletons coming from that tombstone, you know, you're in a bit of trouble for 1 crown. Definitely the Prince is not going to be in winning condition from him.
Yeah, definitely not. The Prince is definitely more of a defensive unit here. Let something lock on to the mortar, and then let the Prince clean it up if possible. Good Mega Minion placement again. No delay between when it starts taking its swipes onto the Miner. But the story of the game so far is actually the Miner. It is doing most of the damage here to Careless's Princess Towers.
I can see once again the mortar being placed down. The Prince is going to be doing a good job trying to hold down the Hog Rider. Hog Rider will finally get to the tower. We'll get one swing. Gets it down to 17-21. We know what this Prince is going to be struggling to do. The Mega Minion already preemptively summoned to make sure it is ready to take on that Miner. Still limited to 3 swipes.
Right, Log coming down to take down these Spear Goblins. Flying Machine here, but a quick Fireball there. It barely gets any shots off there. I don't even think it got one off there, Joel.
Barely got one, but the Hog Rider is going to be the main character they're going to be focusing on for 1 crown and see what damage he can get done here. And the Miner here, once again, doing a little bit of damage over time. He's going to get almost 3 swipes. Doesn't really get that down. And the Hog Rider probably going to be summoned once again with the Flying Machine. So with this Fireball that's going to be coming through, does get pretty good value, but does not go all the way to the Flying Machine. So Flying Machine, how is going to get taken care of here?
Yeah, Spear Goblins coming in to take up some damage from the Flying Machine. Bats coming down against the Flying Machine, though. Flying Machine, 1 hit, 2 hits there. That is nice for Careless.
Maybe a 2 hits, but the Miner is still ongoing with all this damage coming through. And the Mega Minions coming in with the Flying Machine, with the Hog Rider, but what can you see for this Hog Rider trying to come in? You can see some damage come through, and only a Fireball that will not be good enough to give the Hog Rider a single swing, but the Bats once again ready to take down the Mega Minion.
Yeah, both players just trying to cycle through and get as much chip damage as they can.
Oh, the slow bat.
Oh!
Okay, almost. We saw that one bat do a little bit of the storytelling, taking out some damage there. 832 on the right side, 900. We're going to see once again the mortar just drawing in the Hog Rider while the Prince is able to take care of it. Once again, the Flying Machine is just there, but they're going to be taking down the Fireball pretty soon here.
Yep, Fireball comes in.
Oh, the Fireball misses.
It missed!
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Okay.
That could be a big deal for 1 crown here.
1 crown. He has the Flying Machine holding in here, and the Log's going to be doing a pretty good job, but gets that 1 swing from the Hog Rider, and the Flying Machine is still there, just forcing 1 crown to use another 2 Elixir Summon just to get the Bats out.
Right, a bit of a mistake, but he can still pull this out. The Miner's still getting quite a bit of damage done here. Flying Machine comes through again, Hog Rider following it up, all of them taking that Fireball. Much better Fireball.
Fireball, and just making sure you cover back from what you missed last time, and the Log's trying to just get through it, allow that Hog Rider to get a single swing, but the Spirit Goblin's going to be taking out damage 1 at a time. 552, 448, and it's still ongoing with this damage shot.
Right, able to cycle the Log, both players, a defensive Fireball coming through here, but not quite getting the swing in is the Hog Rider. Mega Minion locked onto that Prince. The Bats try to deal with that Mega Minion. The Miner comes in. This time it's stopped a little bit, doesn't do too much damage. 236 is not enough for 1 Fireball, but a Fireball and a Log will do it.
A Log Fireball will be good enough, and 1 crown gets the job done, and very, very close. You know, crucial mistakes near at the end when he missed that Fireball onto the Flying Machine. Could have been crucial, and did take some punishment, but not to the extreme that he's going to lose that game. So 1 crown, as expected, does take that game 1 of this King of the Hill.
He's very good at these mortar decks, very good with his placements, with his timings. The Prince does such a great job of defending that mortar from the ground units, from the Hog, from the Giant. We've seen it with many different things. So really good stuff from him. I liked what Careless brought there, and it came very, very close. I like the Hog Rider deck. You know, maybe just a few changes there were needed to kind of counter the mortar deck. I think he had the right idea, just wasn't quite able to get the cycles going that he wanted. And at the end of the day, he didn't have a ground unit counter for the Miner. He didn't have guards, he didn't have Valkyrie, something like that.
Good effort coming in from Careless, and was very close to beating out 1 crown. That would have heavily upsetted OGN's chances to get their first win of the season. So otherwise, we are now looking towards this situation where JTV is going to be the next one up in line, the second player out of 3rd for Chaos Series, hoping to take down 1 crown. That's going to be the one opponent they really want to take down to give them the highest chance to win this one.
Sure, absolutely. JTV, a very strong player, very capable here. He has not seen any King of the Hill action or any 1v1 action so far for Chaos Theory this season, but that doesn't mean much. We've seen a lot of players that are pretty much 2v2 specialists do quite well in King of the Hill here in Clash Royale League Asia. So they get about a minute this time to set things up, thinking about it, going through what they want to do. I mean, I don't expect One Crown to pull out the mortar deck again. He might go back to the P.E.K.K.A deck, or he might have something else in store for us here. What will Jay bring? That's the real question.
I mean, JTV, he's ready to play, and he's hoping to beat out this game after One Crown showed a pretty good performance, but not perfect in this first game against Kerala. So, hoping that will continue and JTV can take advantage of that. But we never know when One Crown will turn on the gear and really show us what he's made of, because we've seen it plenty of times in the past of what he's capable of doing. So if he can bring it once again, I think JTV is going to be pretty scared to go into the game too.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 games in a row for him so far for One Crown. Let's see if he can make it 4, try to match what we saw Expo Master do last week. It will be One Crown versus JTV, OG and Entus versus Chaos Theory. Let's get into the game.
And here we are, One Crown going up against JTV. One Crown looking to get the clean sweep over his opponent. The minor deck taking a page out of the book. One Crown in, able to connect onto the tower. The Goblin Gang not in the best position to start this game off.
Yeah, One Crown getting a little more value there out of his Spear Goblins. They went through and did just a little bit more damage. There's the Balloon minor deck from JTV here. Bats and a Mortar to defend.
Okay, the Sap was there, but that little Mortar will not allow the Balloon to stick its bomb right onto that Princess Tower, and we'll just go down. Get the explosion damage, maybe. It's all across the edge, and it does get the explosion damage just in time.
Yeah, great placement by One Crown to try to buy as much time as he could for that Balloon, putting it up by the river there. Keeps the Balloon, as far away from that Princess Tower as long as possible.
And it will take 2 drops from the Balloon to take down fully the Mortar there, so kind of counting on his chances. One Crown in. Put that defensive effort into use. So once again, the Balloon is there. The Mortar, will it be ready this time around? It will be.
Yeah, he's got the same kind of setup here. The Spear Goblins come in. Zapped are the Spear Goblins, but there's still a Spear Goblin left from the Goblin Gang.
That helps so much.
Yep. Will the explosion damage reach? It does, just barely.
So 16-20, getting the good piece of chunk from One Crown's tower, and it's going to be JTV on the winning end so far with all this explosion damage that comes through from the Balloon, but otherwise he's looking for that drop. That's what he's looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. We still don't know what his last card is here for JTV. Saving something special here, probably for when we get to 2x Elixir time. In the meantime, just cycling through cards. Goblin Gang, Bridge Spam coming in. Just going to go right for that Tombstone. Here comes the Balloon once again. Mortar placed a little further back this time, and a minor as well here for JTV.
Go for full defense on this effort. That one drop will be able to get things through and move the minor forward, and the Fireball very, very reactive there, but One Crown still takes a lot of damage on that left side.
Yeah, that minor got so many swings in there while the Mega Minion kind of tanked that. Mega Minion coming in to defend. One Crown's minor gets a little bit of damage done. Those Spear Goblins hit so much harder now since their buff a couple patches ago. Here comes this push again, the minor Balloon Ice Golem push.
Okay, the minor is not stopped fully, and Mortar once again is doing a pretty good job of stopping out the Balloon, but we need another Fireball here. Very much going to get that in. Lots of Elixir used once again just to stop that one Balloon.
Yeah, interesting that JTV tried the lightning there, or zap there, it didn't quite work. Tombstone not in the right spot to defend against that mine.
It's going to bring the tower down to 753. All JTV is wanting is that one drop from the Balloon, but he just might not get it, as all these pesky units are slowing things down, and might not get explosion damage even. That's pretty far away.
Yeah, One Crown with great defense there. Here comes his counter push. He does get his minor to connect onto the tower of JTV, so a bit of a favorable exchange for him, but there's a lot of units coming in here. Mortar placed down for defense, the Ice Golem and the Balloon. Let's see if he can get it through this time.
We're going to see the Balloon getting a couple of drops onto the Mortar, but will never be able to reach the tower, and sprint coming from the left side might be dangerous.
Yeah, these zaps are just a little slow from JTV. They're not quite in time to protect his Balloon. He needs to predict it if he's going to make it work, and that will be it. You're right, Joel. Fireball comes in. game number 2 of the King of the Hill here goes to One Crown.
I mean, we were kind of talking about the potential story that One Crown might be able to blow out the entire side of KR3, and he's basically 2/3 of the way there.
Yeah, this is impressive stuff. He's looking so much better week to week. Like I've been saying, he's getting better. He looks more calm. He had the one mistake in the first game of the King of the Hill where he missed that fireball. Pretty big mistake, but he was able to pull out the win anyway. He's coming through here. He's looking very strong. I'm curious to see if this matchup, this rematch between him and Benzer Rydell will go the same way it did in their set 2.
I mean, One Crown, you talk about that one fireball mistake in his previous game, but in the most recent game, any significant mistakes? I don't think I've seen one.
I didn't see it.
One Crown, very once again convincing of how good of a player that he can be. And as he was saying in the interview, all he wants to do is get comfortable on this stage, and be playing on the competitive stage is a different feeling than playing at home with your obviously cell phone on, and not the same thing if you are at this OGN stadium just playing for a lot of pride and a lot of money, and for your team's pride as well. So One Crown had to kind of deal under that pressure, and it's, like I said, getting better every single week. Maybe not as particular skill, maybe that skill was always there, but just getting used to the stage, just getting comfortable was what he was trying to do. So One Crown, I think, is slowly reaching his top potential, and that can be a very scary thing for his teams.
Yeah, absolutely, Joel. I think one thing that really impressed me in that last game was his ability to adapt to what JTV was doing with the Miner. He was able to, he switched using the Goblin Gang to defend against the Miner, so the Miner wasn't able to get any more hits in, and that actually allowed him to kind of out-chip JTV. JTV no longer had any ability to get to the tower of One Crown and do any damage. He figured it out with what the rotation should be. A really good job of him adapting.
So we'll see what this all results into. Benzer Rydell, he faced One Crown last time around, and was really kind of embarrassed as to, you know, of a potential that he is as a player, Benzer Rydell, but didn't get to show too much in the previous 1v1. Of course, he wanted to show a lot more, obviously, to his fans and to the people that have already witnessed him before. So
yeah,
it's One Crown hoping to beat him once again, but Benzer Rydell looking for his own revenge as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Benzer Rydell shouldn't be too hard on himself here. You know, just take a step back, relax. Maybe play something you're comfortable with. Maybe you've got an ace up your sleeve, a special kind of cheeky deck that, you know, you haven't really shown before, or something you've been saving for a special occasion. Because this is that moment. It's gonna all come down to this. If One Crown wins, it is over for Chaos Theory, and it will be a huge, huge victory for OG and Entus.
And it will be the first one. I mean, we haven't seen a win from OG and Entus up to this week 4 situation, but it is day 1. It is the week 4, but you know, many days have passed. All of them passed without a victory towards OGN, but One Crown is literally a game away for him to really just give over that victory over to his teammate. Boy, would he like that one.
Yeah, absolutely. I love what I'm seeing out of him. You know, it's been a pleasure to watch him week to week get better and better. Really fun stuff to see from him. But Benzer Rydell, I mean, he could do the reverse sweep here. He could kind of take a play out of One Crown's book and just go on a tear here. I mean, One Crown's won 4 in a row. It's hard to win 5 in a row, but can he do it? Both players almost ready here. We're just about ready to get into this game.
That'll take 2 minutes.
Timeout. Okay, timeout.
Was that the most last-minute timeout
Yeah,
I've ever seen in my life? And you know, we've been talking about it's about to start. You know, get ready, guys. But timeout.
We
It's
need
gonna
a
be
play
called
clock.
I don't know. You know, something's been going on, and not as much has been visible for us to see. But
you know how in American football they have that play clock up in
yeah.
like the corner?
Yeah.
That, you know, the teams have so much time to do stuff in between plays,
Right.
I mean, that's what we need here. So we know how long they have until they can take a timeout.
you know, before we can reach the levels of NFL here in Clash Royale League Asia, it's gonna take some time. Everything you need to give these guys patience, allowing them to develop their abilities one by one. But maybe that play clock can come in maybe a year later. We're waiting for that one.
I'm just joking. You know me, Joel. I don't have any patience. So
Ouch! Yeah, when you're trying to get that Sparky, you were so desperate to get the one Sparky, and you had to spend that 40,000 gold. I didn't tell you to spend the 40,000 gold, and to only find it in the crown chest that was going to come up later anyway.
That was the most depressing thing that has happened to me
Yeah.
in Clash Royale. I bought a Sparky because I play Sparky.
40,000.
And I'm like, yes, all right, now I can get my Sparky to level 11.
Level 11.
Level 11, not level 12, not yet. But as soon as I bought it, I opened up a crown chest and a Sparky was in it. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
It's like the 40,000 gold. You
This-
you just wrap it up in a bag and you just throw it out the river. That's what you literally did, and that's a lot of gold. You know, if I had that much gold, I definitely would have spent it on something else. But
Yeah.
kudos to you. But,
Mistakes were made, Joel.
you know, mistakes more made, and they're still gonna be B made. So you know, I'm not doubting you on that one. You know, let's be patient on things. Sometimes that's what we need.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Sparky player. I mean, I'm a mistake already.
Hey, hey, tell us that other piece of that puzzle.
Yeah, right.
With
Yeah, what's the
Royal
other
Giant.
piece of that? Yeah.
The Royal Giant. I mean, with the Sparky, you just. If I ever met you in a ladder game, boy, would I do something to that phone.
Yes, that I imagine some players I come against do not feel good when they see that tag.
Yeah, I think no one from Chaos Theory is liking to face up against One Crown so far because he's been pretty much invincible.
Yeah.
Literally mistake-free for most of that game, and we'll see what he can do. Of course, one game away from literally blowing out the entire team by himself and giving the first win. That'll be quite a story for One Crown and OGN, but we'll see if he can do it. One game away, match point for One Crown and OGN Entus from their first victory of the season. Can they finally get it? Let's get into the game and find out. Good luck being thrown out once again by Benzoraido and One Crown, just as they did in that 1v1 instance in the Royal Hogs, all on one side. Very aggressive play to start things off.
Yeah, the Royal Ghost coming in to defend here does a pretty good job cleaning that up when it's only on one side. Not much damage at all coming in here, but a mini P.E.K.K.A. unit we don't get to see too often here from Benzoraido.
Okay, bring out the mini P.E.K.K.A. One Crown says, this is the real P.E.K.K.A. Coming in very, very slowly. Only about 2 swipes away for that mini P.E.K.K.A. to go down.
Yeah,
Just one.
Just one. The mini P.E.K.K.A. does not do well against regular P.E.K.K.A. Turns out bigger P.E.K.K.A.s are better. Who would have thought?
You sometimes think that, but you know, got other stories waiting in line. But the Magic Archer is going to be poisoned away, and these little bats doing a very good job. Seems like no zap, obviously, with the wall being thrown out by One Crown. Nothing for to do, and the Royal Hogs on the other end. Fireball, better counter for that one.
Yeah, absolutely perfect fireball there by Benzoraido. Minimizes the damage he takes from those Royal Hogs. So this is kind of an interesting little deck that Benzoraido is running. He's got mini P.E.K.K.A. Now, normally when we see Magic Archer, we've seen it paired with P.E.K.K.A. Typically, does he have that as well as one of his last 2 cards?
You think a mini P.E.K.K.A. and a P.E.K.K.A. might be in the same deck?
Maybe. I don't know for sure. It's not completely 100% confirmed or anything. But like I said, usually when we see Magic Archer, it's paired with P.E.K.K.A.
Okay, so maybe the idea kind of thrown out the air in terms of Magic Archer pairing up with the mini P.E.K.K.A.
Yeah.
Be a new possibility of a situation there, but once again, going with this situation where he's not opting for the fireball against these Royal Hogs, Benzoraido, just gonna go for the Goblin Gang.
Yeah, so no P.E.K.K.A. here. It's just Hogs and oops.
Uh-oh.
Oops. Uh-oh, that might have been a bit of a misclick. That might have been a bit of a misclick there by Benzoraido.
You know, we talked about 40,000 gold and throwing out that into the river. That was 5 elixirs, literally put him in a bag and just throw it out the river. And wow, that was a bad play coming from Benzoraido. He might just regret that one.
Yeah, here come the counter Hogs here. Nice fireball
good
though
one.
from Benzoraido.
Even the Magic Archer is going to take care of the Royal Hog, just making sure they don't get a single bite into that Princess Tower. The poison is going to be able to take care of the Magic Archer for now.
Right, so a little bit of an interesting deck here we're seeing from Benzoraido. We haven't quite seen this combination in cards before, so see if he can make it work. He gets some decent damage on that push from the Hogs. The counter Hogs coming here from One Crown. He's got the Goblin Gang to defend.
Goblin Gang and the mini P.E.K.K.A. helping out as well, but still going to take a couple of damage. That was 7 elixirs just for defense, so you can see on the left side, the Royal Hogs once again coming in. The Log and also the Royal Ghost just trying to do its best. I guess mesh number 10, but that mini P.E.K.K.A. onto the right side is going to kill off the Electro Wizard. Gonna get one swing, get that second swing as well. So 1150D, all all of a sudden, the tension is going to be on the right side of Benzerito.
That's a big deal. You can't let Mini P.E.K.K.A get in on a tower. He does so much damage, almost as much damage as the regular P.E.K.K.A. This time the Log coming down to defend. Of course now Benzerito is switching his focus, but there is so much damage on the left side, Princess Tower.
Oh my goodness, all over. You have to focus so many of your abilities and so many of your resources getting the damage down on even both sides. But Benzerito is going to be looking pretty good after a lot of mistakes were, for the first time, haven't been dealted by the side of One Crown. It might be the situation where he might just regret the situation. See the tower being pretty safe on that 240 mark right now.
Yeah, left-hand tower though, Fireball Log away from being destroyed. So this should be just about it, I believe, as long as he can defend here. Here come the Hogs as well.
This might be it.
This should be the final push. He just needs that last 2 elixir for the Fireball. That'll do it anyway.
Really, with that Log taking out the skeletons, that was going to be a situation where Benzerito finally gets this retaliation and does pick up that victory against One Crown. His first one of the day, actually, against his opponent. So One Crown out of there. Now it's going to be all about the other 2 players with Hal and Shout and Smokey. See what these 2 players get done. It seems like they're definitely ready to play, but being a weaker player than One Crown ever was, they're going to be feeling pretty nervous to go up against this very strong player, Benzerito.
Yeah, absolutely. A nice win there for Benzerito. Getting a little bit of revenge against One Crown. Really nice stuff from him there. A really interesting take on the Magic Archer play with the Hogs. Normally we see the regular P.E.K.K.A there, but he played Mini P.E.K.K.A this time, allowing him to cycle a little bit faster. I really like that tweak he made, and the Mini P.E.K.K.A ended up making a big deal because it got through and got a couple swings onto that bottom right Princess Tower of One Crown.
Being the man of the match really was, and we're going to see what happens here on the second outing for Chaos Theory. They're not really done yet either, because they just need 2 more wins to get the win over OG Entus in the end, but now looking towards Hal and see what he can get done in this situation, because a 2v1 scenario just needs that 1 more game win. But it's against Benzerito, literally the final boss, if you're considering Chaos Theory a video game. We know that it's going to be a situation where Hal is going to be pretty nervous, knowing the opposition is a pretty strong one indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. Hal 2 and 3 in his King of the Hill matchups so far, so he's had some decent success here. Maybe not, the most you'd like to see, but 2 wins is pretty nice here. He's getting some coaching from One Crown. One Crown's telling him, hey, no, I know how to beat this guy. I've done it 2 times already. You can do this. Let's get this and let's get out of here. It's getting to be a little late here in Korea, guys. We're getting a little. These players, they play their hearts out. They start a little late. It's 7 p.m. Korea Standard Time when we start, so things tend to be into the night. The buses are starting to empty, the trains, not too many people on them when these players go home. But can Benzerito do the reverse sweep here? Can he do the all kill?
Man, that would be an absolute feat for him to get done, and we're still waiting for that confirmation as to how good Benzerito actually is. But slowly and slowly, we're starting to figure out he is a decent player, but can he become better and beat out all the members of OG Entus? He's already 1 step away from getting that done. Let's see if they can get that. Another one in the back. Let's get to the game. Here we are, after Benzerito taking down One Crown. Now it's looking towards OG Entus, seeing if they have their opportunities to win out this game. And the thumbs being thrown out there. Benzerito, Hal replies back, but what are we going to see from this? The Electro Wizard is definitely there. It's going to slow things down. The Skeleton's going to be there as well. We're going to see something. What are we going to get? This is a weird deck already with the poison.
Well, Hal's deck looks like it's going to be some kind of variant on P.E.K.K.A. Most likely. The Royal Ghost comes in. That kind of makes it feel like a P.E.K.K.A deck. It could be a Giant as well. You could definitely do Giant.
It looks like a Lava Hound deck, kind of, but...
It could be that too, actually. You're absolutely right.
But Lava Hound is banned now.
Yeah, that's true. So it can't be Lava Hound.
So, it's a weird deck altogether. Those last 2 cards unrevealed for now. I don't give me the questions we're trying to get the answer to. The Royal Ghost once again kind of being ignored by Mega Minion. For the meantime, the 3 Muskies. And this might be the Giant deck you've been talking about.
Yeah, absolutely could be here. Poison coming down to take care of the right-hand side 3 Muskies. So looks like Hall has a pretty decent defense for it so far. He's a little bit ahead now. Ooh, here comes the Hogs to back up this push, though. He only has the Ewiz on the left-hand side, drops the Royal Ghost on the right-hand side.
Oh, the Musketeer is doing such good work. Onto that left side, and the Royal Ghost is going to be able to handle the rest of the Royal Hogs on the right side, but still takes decent amount of damage from it. Once again, the Skeleton's there.
This is a nice change-up here from Benzer Rydell on this type of deck. The Royal Hogs make you think it might be something like P.E.K.K.A or Giant. Three Musketeers, a very nice curveball.
It really is a Three Musketeers. What are we going to get for the last two unrevealed cards? We're going to see another series Fireball and a Log against these Royal Hogs. It's going to be the main win condition for Hall once again. So last reveal card most likely will be another spell, but we're going to see from this issue, we're going to find out.
Right. It could be a spell, it could be P.E.K.K.A. I'm curious to see what Hall opts to do here, but he's going to have a tough time with P.E.K.K.A because of the multiple unit pushes that are going to be coming from Benzer Rydell with this deck.
See the Electro Wizard and the Mega Man just trying to stop all this rush coming in. Do a very good job. 14-13 still takes decent amount of damage here.
Yeah, okay, these Musketeers getting split up enough to not take all three of them taking damage from the poison. Of course, the Musketeers do just barely survive a poison.
They will go down in the end. The Electro Wizard will be able to take the job into getting things done. And the Fireball, once again, very good tool with the Hunter. Beautiful defense onto the left side. 13-70 down and 14-13 on the right side. And once again going for the Royal Hogs.
Yeah, extremely close game here so far. Log and Royal Ghost coming down to defend against this Hog push on the right-hand side. P.E.K.K.A, there it is. Okay, now is his opportunity. He's got to try to make this work. The Three Musketeers will do so much damage.
This is going to be a wonderful poison value right now, getting all of those three Muskies for 4 elixir, getting maximum value, literally destroying out all of those 9 elixir costs.
Yeah, that's pretty much worth there for Hall. He comes out just a little bit ahead. And again, this Fireball Hunter defense does a pretty good job against these Hogs.
And 977 against 975, can't get closer than this, and still moving forward here. The Log's going to slow things down, but the Royal Hogs are still charging in, and the Electro Wizard is not going to be the ultimate answer for all of this. And 537 down to 478. It's going to be the answer onto the right side, but you don't want to invest on the right tower if you are Hal.
Yeah, this is starting to get a little bit dangerous for Hal.
I don't like this. Hal is splitting the Royal Hogs, just trying to get damage onto the right side, but eventually you're not going to get more damage, and you are already at the 70-29 mark. So I don't know if splitting the damage was the right decision there.
Yeah, now a huge push is coming in here from Benzer Rydell. These Hogs just need a couple hits here to get it within Fireball.
That's it.
Yep, that's it. Fireball's coming.
Not even needed.
Wow.
Now if you are a Hall, you did have a lot of units defending on the right side and leading into a counter push. I understand that, but did you really need to split the Royal Hogs? That was a question for me to answer.
Yeah, I don't think so. It doesn't make much difference. You're not going to do enough damage to that top right tower that it's going to sway the way that Benzer Rydell has to play.
The tower on the right side for Benzer Rydell was nearly full.
Yeah.
You're trying to get that one push. It's not a freaking golem into a balloon. It's not going to get billions of damage at one push. It's Royal Hogs, for God's sake, and you know you're not going to get too much damage off of that one. And oh man, that's a last-minute decision for Hal to make, and not the best decision from our perspectives, but we are talking result-oriented here, but
right.
We don't know what would happen.
Yeah, in general, that's a tough matchup there for Hall because he has P.E.K.K.A, which is, frankly,
too slow.
Too slow, doesn't do any AoE damage, and a lot of what Benzer Rydell is bringing there is the multi-unit attacks.
For that 7 elixir cost, if you had brought the Mega Knight,
yeah, perfect.
Hal would have loved that matchup.
Oh yeah. Oh no, he would have just basically dominated him with the Mega Knight. I think. I mean, I could be wrong, but it feels like that would have been a much better choice there.
Just in that instance where the Royal Hogs has been in play for basically past couple of games already, you would probably expect your opponent to play the Royal Hogs and bring the Mega Knight and splash down all those piggies from afar and does you a lot of value, and you're kind of looking towards Benzer Rydell, just literally one game away. Talk about that reverse sweep, might be on the way here.
Yeah, absolutely. Really impressive stuff here. He looks pretty calm now. He's got to go up against Shad and Smooky here from OG and Entus. Both teams fighting for their lives. This is really exciting stuff because they're both almost in the bottom of their regions, and this is especially dire for OG and Entus.
And they're both starving for that win. And OG and Entus, they were so close. literally one game away from One Crown to finish off the entire side of Chaos Theory. Would have given them the first win of the season after 4 weeks.
Yeah.
But with One Crown going down and Howl seemingly just going down with it,
Yeah.
Shadow is on the brink of once again kind of taking away the best golden win opportunity for OG and Entus they've had all season long. And if they lose this matchup, if they lose this game with Sean Spooky losing out in the end to Benzerito, and they take another loss and now they're at 0-6,
That's devastating.
oh man. I don't know how you're going to recover from that one.
Heartbreaking. I don't know how they can recover. That would just be absolutely so demoralizing here. Shot and Smokey has only played one 1v1 set so far. He lost to Jin TV earlier. Everybody's lost to Jin TV so far, so you can't feel too bad about that. But he hasn't played any King of the Hill matches so far.
Shot and Smokey, one game away, literally one game away from getting the first victory over to his team. But Benzerito seems like a tough opponent for everyone, including One Crown. So Shot and Smokey, a tough opponent. Can he do it? Let's find out. Good luck always thrown out by Benzerito, throwing up positivity towards his opponents.
Oh!
Positivity, not in with this mortar here.
Mortar. Interesting. Interesting. Gonna go down pretty quickly to that Goblin Gang.
A lot of elixirs invested though onto that side. Let's see once again a Rascal on the other side. So, wow, I don't usually see Rascals on both teams here.
Yeah, right. You don't often see them played together.
Long bait.
Yeah, it feels like long bait. You're right, Joel. It definitely smells like it.
Goblin Barrel on its way for Shannon Smokey, definitely here. But the Miner is going to be the choice for Benzerito. Shannon Smokey, is he preparing? This is Prince deck that has been working with the Goblin Barrel. Still hasn't been thrown out, so seems like they're still working up upon decision. Of course, the Spirit Goblin is there to slow things down for that Prince. Make sure it doesn't get the charge in.
Yep, so not much doing for either of the players so far. Just very minimal damage to the towers. A little bit ahead is Shot and Smokey there, but there you go.
I was going to say, are you telling me you don't have a Goblin Barrel in that deck?
Yeah, absolutely. He's got to use Fireball on it too, so that's not a great exchange there for Benzerito. He loses an elixir in that exchange. So absolutely, you know, this once the Princess comes down, it's almost just like, well, this is probably Spellbait.
Yeah, Spellbait with the Rascals and with the Goblin Gang. You know it has to be that one, and seems like the Rascals on the defensive end for Shadow Smokey is doing a pretty good job with the Rascal Girls dying out for the portraying mortars of these pellets they're throwing out. Still, the more damage they go over for Shadow Smokey once again coming towards with this extremely aggressive push.
This is dangerous.
Oh no, this is bad. Shadow Smokey has nothing for this.
No, he has nothing. He doesn't have his Fireball. The Princess is late.
This is done. The thumbs up. Oh my, the BM.
Benzerito.
Benzerito, you have gone and done it, kid. And oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Way to be sneaky about that. You do not often see that kind of play with a mortar deck. Really awesome stuff here.
Use the Fireball once again. And obviously the minion horde.
Yeah.
Shadow Smokey, literally all he has is the Princess and nothing else for it. And that's a free mini horde summon if you're looking towards Benzerito.
Yeah, this time he's got the Princess, but the Miner coming in, a Fireball as well to protect the Miner here.
That's it.
That's that tower down. 30 seconds left.
Oh my
I don't know if Shot and
gosh.
Smokey can do this.
OG and Entus, after being so the closest they've ever been to getting a victory in this season, is probably going to lose it once again.
This is devastating.
This is terrible.
This is just heartbreaking for them. One Crown played his heart out. He really almost just single-handedly gave OG and Entus a win here. Couldn't quite get it done.
Oh, the laughter emote at the end and the This is fun music coming out on your screen, but this is not fun music for OG and Entus.
Yeah.
Holy cow, this is sadder than Titanic. Oh my goodness.
This is much sadder than Titanic.
Oh yes.
I didn't think Titanic was sad.
Leonardo DiCaprio, I mean, you're getting awards for your movie there, but you know, this one, I don't know who could have written the script better. And
No.
this is, oh man.
And
OGN are still winless throughout the season right now.
Yep. They're 0-6.
0-6.
I'm just gonna write that on my little paper here. 0-6. And
They didn't look like an 0-6 team today,
Chaos, not at all.
but
No.
they're still 0-6.
Yeah. No,
everyone's going to look at the number and just remember them as that team that never won the game.
It's just One Crown is the team. He's the team right now.
You're right.
He's playing so well. I mean, it's got to be heartbreaking for him. He played incredibly today. He won
He
4
played
games in a
perfect,
row.
near perfect.
Near perfect. Yeah.
And when you play near perfect, when you literally, out of all the 8 players that have participated in this matchup between Chaos Theory and OG and Entus, there's no argument that One Crown was the best player out of the 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
definitely.
still, his team loses.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, Benzer Rydell, credit to him where credit is due. He played very well there in the King of the Hill. Clutch play from him. But you're absolutely right. I think overall, One Crown is the MVP of that match, but Benzer Rydell gets it done in the end. Just exciting stuff here.
And it's incredible to see that, you know, the story that we've been unfolding about, if One Crown goes down, the team goes down. And
Yeah.
it's literally been that case. And after One Crown was the first player to go up, defeats 2 opponents, and sure, he loses to Benzerado, that's understandable, but you have 2 more players waiting in line with Owl and also Season2. No resistance whatsoever against their opponent.
Yeah, they got to find someone else who can play some 1v1 for them. They've been rotating the players in and out. I mean, Q Mills has played 1v1, Shot and Smokey has played 1v1 sets, and One Crown has played 1v1 for them outside of King of the Hill. So they're trying to find other players who can do it, but they're having to rely on One Crown to win the 1v1 set.
And let's take a recap of what OG and Entus accomplished as a team. One Crown won basically 4 out of his 5 matches.
Yeah.
Rest of his teammates won none.
Yeah, none. All they needed was one more in the King of the Hill. You know, obviously the 2v2, they had to win 2 there, but yeah, just one more out of the other 3 players. Or out of the other 2 players, I'm sorry.
You know what it is, though? That's the situation we've been going through at OG and Entus. You need a team to win games.
Yeah.
You can't have one single player. This was a prime example of that statement. One single player cannot lead your team to a victory,
Right.
no matter how good he is.
Right. You know, we've seen that with Kingzone DragonX where they seem to be
Master.
relying on Expo Master, but this season, their
Looking
other
better.
players are looking much better. So far for OG and Entus, they're not finding that second player who can kind of step up and get things done for them.
Now, let me give you a sneak peek, but after this one, we're going to get to an interview first with Chaos Theory to see how they feel about that
승리를
victory.
가져간 카오스 티어리의 벤저 리델 선수와 함께 인터뷰 나눠보도록 하겠습니다. Congratulations! Congratulations! 엄청난 경기력을 정말 보여줬습니다. 일단 기본적으로 기본 질문이죠. 소감 먼저 들어보도록 하겠습니다.
So what are your thoughts on your win today?
I think the other team played really well. It went to not just King of the Hill, but the very last set. So I think we both did pretty well.
상대방도 굉장히 잘한 것 같고 킹 오브 더 힐 끝까지 가서 뭐 상대방도 잘했고 저희도 잘했다고 생각합니다.
자, 일단은 오늘 경기에 벤저리델의 이 메달리스트로서 어떤 경기를 펼칠지 굉장히 많은 분들께서 기대를 해주셨습니다. 지금까지는 1대1에 참가를 잘 안 하다가 이번에 1대1에 참가한 이유가 있는지 궁금합니다.
So this is your first time coming up in 1v1. Is there any reason behind it?
Ini pertama kali Ben naik 1v1. Ada kenapa sekarang Ben naik ya 1v1? Pertama kali Ben 1v1, kenapa sekarang?
Ya, saya berpikir kalau saya main 2 versus 2, saya tidak cocok untuk itu dan saya berpikir saya cocok untuk bermain 1v1.
So Benzer feels that he's maybe not the best fit for 2v2. So this time in Korea, he's gonna be playing 1v1s.
사실 2대2에 그렇게 최적화된 선수가 아니라고 생각해요, 저는. 그래서 이번에 1대1을 출전하게 됐습니다.
아, 그렇군요. 뭐 아시겠지만 지금까지의 인터뷰와는 다르게 어느새 넘어가는 시간이 굉장히 많이 걸리기도 합니다. 자, 제가 굉장히 궁금했었던 부분은 과연 벤저 리델은 한국에 있는 선수들 중에 누굴 가장 본인의 강력한 라이벌이라고 생각하는지 좀 많이 궁금해요. 누구를 라이벌이라고 생각하고 있었는지.
So who do you think your best rival is? So who are you keeping an eye on?
Pemain siapa yang Ben pikir paling sulit buat Ben yang kamu
Among the
lihat?
Korean players.
Yang dari pemain Korea.
Untuk saat ini saya berpikir pemain yang kuat itu berasal dari UJN yang bernama One Crown. Tapi untuk sekarang cuma itu dulu.
So for now, his rival for now is One Crown for OGN.
지금으로서는 OGN의 원크라운 선수라고 할 수 있겠습니다.
아 그렇군요. 어찌 보면 원크라운 선수와 이제 같은 나이기도 하고 그리고 오늘 또 경기에서 한번 이겼다 졌다 서로 주고받았기 때문에 또 최고의 라이벌이 되지 않았나 생각이 듭니다. 마지막 질문입니다. 자 내일 있을 OP 게이밍과의 경기 얼마나 많이 준비했는지 굉장히 기대가 많이 됩니다. 마지막으로 OP 게이밍 전에 임하는 각오 한번 들어보도록 하겠습니다.
So you're playing against OP Gaming tomorrow. So what are your determinations?
Besok kita lawan OP Gaming, pemimpinan dan apa?
Ya, saya akan mempersiapkan lagi diri saya untuk melawan OP Gaming dan saya akan mempersiapkan banyak strategi sehingga OP Gaming tidak mengetahui strategi yang saya pakai.
So Ben and the team will start practicing and think of strategies, different types of strategies, so that our opponents won't be able to guess tomorrow.
네, 연습을 더 하고 더 많은 전략을 세워서 내일 어떤 전략을 쓸지 상대방이 모르게 할 것입니다.
네, 약간 숨긴다는 그런 이야기가 아닌가 생각이 듭니다. 자 이렇게 해서 카오스 티어리 또 승리 가져가게 됐습니다. 어찌 보면은 카오스 티어리라는 이름답게 그 동남아 지역 전체를 카오스의 진짜 혼돈으로 빠뜨린 그런 경기가 아니었나라는 생각이 들고요. 또 메달리스트의 그런 실력도 저희가 감상했습니다. 자 오늘 여기서 마무리가 아닙니다. 한 경기 더 남아 있거든요. 오늘은 동남아가 되게 센데 굉장히 강한데 다음 경기는 어떨지도 여러분들 많은 관심 부탁드리겠습니다. 저희는 잠시 후에 돌아오겠습니다.
That's going to be it for now. For the interview, we're going to go to a short break. We'll be back with the last series with currently Southeast Asia already ahead. Kings versus OP Gaming for the last series of days. So don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone, to CRL Asia Season 2. We're here once again with Korea versus Southeast Asia. And it's not been looking so good for Korea. Already losing 2 in a row in our opening day of Week 4. So going into this third series, we're looking at OP Gaming, a team that has done very well so far in their regionals, especially against Japan as well. But going up against Kicks, this is looking like a different Kicks altogether, especially for the lead of Lampo, a 1v1 player that has looked so good for his team so far. So we do look at these 2 matchups that we've seen previously. Obviously, OP Gaming definitely has risen up to the standards, looking like a much stronger team now, but against Kicks, what can he do?
Yeah, absolutely. So far today, it seems like SEA has really done their homework against Korea, and it has shown so far, but we have OP Gaming here, and Jin TV does his homework more than just about anybody on the planet. This guy plays 15 hours of Clash Royale a day, but the rest of this team, no slouches either. Chasu, Dabong TV, Wee-chan, and Songwon round out the OP Gaming roster.
You talk about doing homework. Jin TV, literally, he goes home and does his homework, obviously, but and he does the extra credits as well.
Yes.
And then he steals the test papers from his teacher's desk and does it at home. That's what you have to do for 15 hours. I mean, he does it every single day. Jin TV, quite impressive for his work ethic, and definitely has proven on the field where he has pretty much gone undefeated so far.
Yeah, basically he is undefeated. He's only lost 1 game. He's won both of the 1v1 sets he's played, and he won the 2 King of the Hill games he's played. The guy is solid, but let's take a look at the Kicks roster. Dylan, The Rock, Lampo, Dio, Stitch, and Martin. Of course, Lampo, one of those other newer comers to Clash Royale League Asia that's talked about a lot. We saw him do very well in Season 1, especially in his debut, where he defeated Expo Master in a 1v1 set. So this team looks better so far this season.
And Martin has looked very good as well. Whether he's on that 2v2 role or that 1v1, he has impressed us with moments that are still worth remembering. And we still remember Lampo, his first debut, looked very unshaken against very strong opponents. So hopefully we can get some good matchup today, because we saw a pretty close matchup in that game too, that match 2, that happened just previously in that series between OGNS and Chaos. What a heartbreaker that was. OGNS so close to getting their first big game, but still gonna be winless right now, 0-6. So hopefully we can get a better matchup this time around. OP Gaming looking to bring Korea their first win in this series, but Kicks, they definitely don't want to allow that so easily, because it seems like Lampo and the boys, they're definitely ready to take up another win for Southeast Asia.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it looks like we've got Dio, Stitch, and Martin playing together. They have not... Wait, they played together one time. I'm sorry.
They did.
And they won against Benzer, Rydell, and JTV. So, no slouches in 2v2, are they? They look very strong. Wee-chan and Chasu, a pretty classic matchup here for OP Gaming. We see these two play together quite often. They've done fairly well. I believe they're 1-2 in their sets. Yes, 1-2 in their sets so far. So they've lost 2, 1-1. But the real story here, an exciting matchup, maybe the best matchup we'll see today, Jin TV versus Lampo.
Yeah, it's going to be the situation there, and we're going to see how these players really bring up their A game. And Kicks team, they've been pretty standard in terms of doing the right things and making sure they really translate that into results, into the wins. And they're really looking for a win today, even against OP Gaming, a team that has looked really strong, especially now 1v1 with Jin TV on the lineup. Definitely seems like it's a doable thing for Kicks to pick up the win altogether here. But you can look at Korea, OP Gaming, Clash Royale. You can look at this team with the duo, Wee-chan and Chasu, very much a staple now in this 2v2 role. Regardless of the result, they're still going to be way up, partnering with each other just to make sure they can get the wins in time.
Yeah, absolutely. So the same bands we saw last time here in the 2v2s in match number 2. So in match number 3 here, we have the Royal Hogs and the Tornado Band again. Nothing too surprising here. We should probably see about kind of what we've been used to today. Maybe a lot of Balloon. Seems to be kind of picking up popularity here. Seems to be a tough unit to deal with when you've got other units in front of it, like the Golem or the Dark Prince, that kind of thing going on. Dios, Stitch, and Martin really like the Miner and the Bats and that kind of thing. Very understandable. You know, it's interesting, we haven't seen any Cannon Cart today. We saw a lot of it even after the nerf, and Zappies as well. We haven't seen Zappies. I still think Cannon Cart's fine.
It's just too far away. I mean, it's just, you have to get into that 5 radius rather than the 5.5 radius that it used to be before the nerf. And you know, I try using the Cannon Cart, and it never gets close enough. It always seems like it's halted. And, you know, even at 5.5, half of the time it did get halted quite nicely, but at 5, it seems like a very difficult maneuver. But let's get into game 1 of this first set, 2v2. OP Gaming versus Kicks team. To see who gets the first game victory. Let's get into the game. And here we are after the bans that came through with the Tornado and the Royal Hogs. We're here once again, and let's see what these teams to play here. The Royal Giant coming in with a very, very heavy push. Just looking for all the damage now.
Yeah, they were just able to cycle into that Inferno Dragon. Was OP Gaming here. That is crucial to defend against this push, but the Royal Giant getting quite a few hits onto the bottom right tower of OP Gaming. So much damage done there.
You talk about see the Infernal Dragon trying to get the damage that just melt down the Royal Giant was what he's trying to do, but Electro Wizard was there for the side of Dio Stitch and Martin. We'll see what SCA with Kicks can get done. Very nice first push that came through that Royal Giant, doing enough damage to get the tower down to 1364 on the right side.
Definitely one of the best pushes we've seen from the Royal Giant Skeleton combo so far this season. Usually it's a bit of a tricky thing to get it going, but Dio Stitch and Martin able to get it done. That Electro is, like you mentioned, Joel, so crucial to this strategy that Kicks is bringing here.
Talk about that. The Naked Lava Hound not doing much here, and we saw the Royal Giant pushed from the tower, wants to buy some time to push that forward with
the
Skeleton.
Inferno Dragon locked onto the Royal Giant, I believe there. That's not what you want. Zap to reset it. A few shots coming in from the Royal Giant this time. Still a fair amount of damage there, but the Lava Hound now pushing the top right tower.
But that blow-up damage, explosion damage from the Giant Skeleton does destroy the Infernal Dragon, so that's a big deal. As you see it come through, once again the poison offensively being put out by OP Gaming, and get the tower down to 397. So this next Lava Hound that's coming up, looking for that finish here.
Yeah, it's the toughest thing about making this Giant Skeleton Royal Giant deck work is keeping the Inferno Dragon off the Royal Giant. It's fine if it locks on to the Giant Skeleton. That's totally cool, but you can't have it on the Royal Giant out the gate. You need that Royal Giant to survive to get a couple hits in on the tower.
And the Royal Giant does get only one shot to the tower, mostly because of all that damage going all the way to the Tombstone instead. So this Royal Giant is not working out too well. Knocking the first tower as the first tower already goes over to OP Gaming. See what this next push can do.
Yeah, okay, the Royal Giant's locked on. It's still at half health. It only needs one or two more shots here. Two more shots. It's got it. Okay, good job there.
Okay, what about 3 crown? Maybe an option right here?
The Royal Giant's too low.
No.
You're going to pocket, though. You're going to pocket push here. Absolutely, this is smart. This is smart by OP Gaming.
Okay, we're going to see what this comes through, and the Giant Skeleton will blow up and will destroy all those minions inside. The Mega Minions will go down, and still gets damage down to 1142, while that Inferno Dragon is doing a heck of a good job against all that push that came through the left side. Literally nothing coming from that Lava Hound push.
Yeah, Kicks looking strong here so far. If they can just buy a little bit of time to do another pocket push. They did a great job defending that Lava Hound push. If they can find, okay, they're opting for the bridge push. I think they should maybe consider doing the pocket push here instead, but we'll see if they can defend this.
Seems like OP Gaming has all the tools defensively to take things out, and we're still looking at the Royal Giant getting one shot through it, but it's going to be good enough. Still gets it down to 938, and all these defensive tools coming down from the left side of Kicks, and we're going to see what this all resorts into. Once again, the Lava Hound is well on its way to that tower.
Yeah, here comes the pocket push. Yeah, absolutely. This is just okay. The Tombstone might buy him just enough time here. We'll see. That Royal Giant only at half health. One hit. He just needs two.
And we'll get two, but let's see this coming through. The Lava Hound is still not dead, and now we're going to see a poison, double poison offensively, and that's a lot of damage coming through. That Mega Minion will be the key victory here. One more swipe all to do it, and that Mega Minion was not able to be stopped. And OP Gaming, that 3 elixir goes a long way when it's left stranded, and get the first game victory, and now they're well on their way to giving Korea their first victory.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this Royal Giant Skeleton deck, we've seen teams try it over and over again, and there hasn't been a lot of success with it. It's really tricky to get it to work, especially if your opponent has Tombstone or something like that that could distract the Royal Giant for a long time. And then when you try to pocket push there, which is what you have to do at that point, you know, you can drop the Tombstone right next to the Royal Giant, and then not only does the Royal Giant attack the tombstone, but then skeletons pop out to hit it as well.
The second one near to the end where it could have been a pocket push, but you remember that one bridge push that happened near the end?
Yes.
What do you think about that one?
I think that was the mistake there. I think that was where they made the mistake and lost that game. I think had they just focused on the pocket pushes, they probably would have won that game. But that was a great point, Joel. I think that was where they kind of faltered there. I don't think they needed to try to push the bridge there again.
And discuss things over. That's going to be Kicks team calling out a timeout. 1 more minute for them to discuss things through, and it seems like the 4 players with Dio, Stitch, Montana, and The Rock. That definitely does not look like Apple, but all the more, we're still looking at these 4 guys from Kicks discuss things over, just trying to make sure they're ready for game 2 with a little bit more optimism, because it seems like after that game 1 did go over to a loss. We need a lot more from this play right here, and that Mega Minion in the end. Left stranded, all these lava puffs doing the tanking. That's going to be Mega Minion just going well away. We're taking those swipes and eventually get the tower down.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff there from OP Gaming at the end. Just very, very patient. Just kept trying to make those Lava Hound pushes work and forcing, you know, Kicks to make a decision there at the end. They dropped the Lava Hound right by the bridge with a baby dragon right behind it. And at that moment, Kicks was forced into a decision. Do we just defend here or do we try the pocket push ourselves? They forced the pocket push. OP Gaming had the tombstone available as well as the Inferno Dragon. So that basically nullified the pocket push.
Really did. And we thought that OP Gaming was going to be on the back end of things after that first few minutes of play, but they were definitely knowing that over time they will get more of the chip damage, especially when the elixirs run a lot faster. So after that game win for OP Gaming, seems like they want to push onto a second, make it a quick one for them to pick up this set 1 victory. So they're set to victory. They do have a lot of confidence in their hands with GMTV on that line. Of course, this opponent is nothing to slouch at in terms of Lampo being his opponent, but otherwise, set 2 gonna be the one they're really trying to get to with a victory. It's gonna be very good for OP Gaming.
Yep, nothing wrong here. Kicks can absolutely do this. They played fairly well that game. Just one mistake really probably cost them the game. We can't say for sure. Maybe the pocket push would have been defended again by OP Gaming, but you know, that Royal Giant, if it gets three shots in on the tower, that's about as much as you can really hope to get out of it. Now, early on, they got a lot more hits out of it, but will they change it up? It will be OP Gaming, Wee-Chan and Chasu versus Kicks, Dio, Stitch, Martin. Game 1 went to OP Gaming. Let's jump into this one.
Here we are, OP Gaming, Clash Royale. After their first game victory, getting a lot of confidence after that previous one. We're going to see what happens in this second game here. Of course, the full elixirs all abroad, and we do see that cheeky little heal spell from the side of OP Gaming. What could that be?
That was the first thing that caught my eye, that bright gold. Usually you see it paired with 3 Musketeers.
Oh my goodness, if we've ever seen a heavy push to start things off. Giant Skeleton, Royal Giant, and the Dark Prince that came and kicked to the Prince. Look at that! It's having a hard time getting to the Prince! It's stuck!
There's too much beef there, Joel. Too much beef.
Get those fatties out of there. The Giant Skeleton, lose some weight. That's what you need. I mean, as if it didn't have enough skin already. It needs to lose more skin on that one for that Giant Skeleton. Can't get through that one.
Oh, the Prince getting some serious hits there on the top left. The Golemites coming in, the explosion damage and a swing there. The double Mega Minions.
That is a sad looking pair of Mega Minions that, you know, that's going to go down very, very soon. That guard, that's going to get the top done. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's all you really need. You know, you might take 1 swipe here. Ooh, okay, they're going to opt to take. Oh, okay, okay. I thought they were going to drop something there. 3 swipes is too many.
Okay, they're just opting for this really big push that's coming out. The Giant Skeleton might just reach the tower. It will reach the tower. It reached the tower.
That's not good.
Okay, Golem is starting to push things back, but that's never going to be enough, and the Night Witch is going to be blown away.
Oh boy. Not looking good for OP Gaming here. This was...
Oh, and that Poison 1 will just take the bats away, and what we're going to see here. This thing coming through. Absolute fail coming through that one. The heal is not for the Golems, boys.
No, that is not the time to heal.
No.
The Poison there and the Graveyard doing some decent damage on the top left. There's a minute left. So absolutely OP Gaming still in this. They can absolutely still do this.
And that 576 is not going to be a problem there, but all the more they're just trying to go for the 3 crown. That's going to be the strategy there, but once again, Giant Skeleton, Royal Giant, what are you to do?
Yeah, absolutely. This time they don't have the Inferno Dragon in the rotation, opting to use the Prince to take on the Royal Giant. He, of course, does quite a bit of damage to it as well. Only 1 shot from the Royal Giant. Here comes the Golem onto the Inferno Tower, but there's an E-Wiz dropped by Kicks to defend.
Look at this, the Prince coming through on the left side, the left side, the left side! Left side will get the tower down, and the Graveyard is going to help out with that push.
Whoa.
And this 3 crown scenario that's coming through, the Prince is still unstoppable. The Wizard is stopping things through, but all those little skeleton pushes that are coming through from the left side is going to get the tower down to 2-11-12 here, and it's going to be the situation where we're going to get this last push here. Royal Giant has to be the hero, otherwise we're going to see Yo Stitch and Martin having a lot of trouble here.
Yep, not much doing there.
Oh,
the lightning!
No! That was the worst lightning I've ever seen in Season 2!
It was, yeah, it was all right.
Was it? Was it? You tell me now, and I should really reconsider a casting video on that one. That lightning was the most terrible lightning I've ever seen.
It's okay. Here comes another push here from Kicks. They're starting to make this just kind of work.
Okay.
They're getting some damage.
The Royal Giant? The Royal Giant? Okay. Gets the pullback.
Whoa.
Okay.
Too many shots there from the Royal Giant.
580.
OP Gaming in trouble here. They're down quite a bit in this right-hand lane.
Now we're looking at this, the Golem's going to push things back, and the Royal Giant is back at it once again. If this Royal Giant is not stopped, it will get the Sapphire Tower, and it will finish up the game.
Well, okay, the Tombstone protected it this time. The Poison, though, will chip it down to 364.
That's a good timing to use Lightning. Good timing to use Lightning. By the way, 6 elixirs, guys. All you need is to do Lightning, and the Zap should be good enough.
The Lightning, yep, Lightning and Zap will get it done. They're waiting for it. They're spamming it. They're getting ready. They want to end this. Here comes the Lightning. And now we're waiting for
the
Snowball's not enough.
Zap will not be enough as well, but the Royal Giant will be there as well. Oh my, what a chaotic game.
The Lightning wasn't the end of the world. They ended up winning, and it did tower damage. It's not the best. It's not ideal. It wasn't the worst Lightning I've ever seen. I've done worse Lightnings.
Oh, okay. That means it's not the worst Lightning. I think you're right.
Yes.
You literally defined the definition of worst Lightning.
I will accept that. I will accept that mantle.
All right. You know what? You're giving a sacrifice for the team. Oh well. I mean,
they got it done this time. Yeah,
1-1. And this set is still yet incomplete as to who's going to be the clear winner here. And the Giant Skeleton, all these questionable players that were coming from OP Gaming, all these heals were absolute failures. Which was worse? Who did it worse? I mean, we always ask the question, who did it better? But who did it worse, on that heal or on that line?
The heal is just
outrageously bad.
It's just not that good, and it really only works with 3 Musketeers. There aren't many other cards that synergizes
It works with medium tank units, not the ultimate tanks, with the Golems and the Giant and even the Giant Skeleton, whatever it may be. Trying to use a heal on the Golem, you're probably doing something wrong.
Yeah, it's just, you'd better be off using Freeze or something like that, right? You're much better off using Freeze there.
Some people mistaken the fact that heal, because nobody knows anything about that card.
Right.
People mistakenly think that heal does % amount of heal or something like that.
No.
It just does
it's
literally
static.
A constant value of heal, and maybe a couple hundred, it's nothing.
It's reverse poison.
It really is, and all it is but you're trying to heal a Golem which has a couple thousands of HP, and a couple hundreds of heal is just like giving a baby food over to a Goliath or something like that. That's the analogy Jack can make, but look at this. We're on to this game 3, and the set 1 still undecided. We're going to get the winner right here, paid within, of the set 1. Will it be Korea? Will it be Southeast Asia? We're going to find out between this last game of this first set. After all that chaos, we're back down to static, and we're here for this game 3 with anyone being able to take off the win and down on both sides.
A very, very similar start for both teams here. Their decks looking pretty much about the same. So far, one of the bigger differences is a Lumberjack here and a Flying Machine for Kicks.
And we're looking at this Lecture Wizard. It's going to be the optimal defense with the Infernal Dragon coming through as well. So
Miner coming in on that Electro Wizard, but a defensive poison here from Kicks to deal with this Lava Hound push, so not much doing there. Meanwhile, a Miner coming down here on the bottom left for Kicks. They're getting a little bit more value out of this push.
Lava Puff's going to do a little bit of damage there, and that's going to be good enough to take the tower down to 1454. So Infernal Dragon's still alive and very much even in terms of elixir count so far, but you can see this Flying Machine just take care of the Infernal Dragon, not even get a single second of charge onto that tower.
Yeah, there's a big smile right now on the faces of the Kicks players. They feel pretty confident about this. This push is coming through again. The Lava Hound does lock onto that tower. The Miner, in the meantime, though, fights the guards. Pups get spread by both teams. Not much doing on that push, but still a little bit in the favor of Kicks.
We're still looking at Kicks, missing out on that estimate prediction of that guard onto that Miner, but still doesn't matter as we see a 3-digit count onto the left side for OP Gaming. 869 on the count now, and we're seeing a very healthy 278 on the left side for Kicks team now. So we'll see what this all leads to. Still looking towards all that Lava Hound pushes onto both sides and see what happens here.
Yeah, they're going to have to put the Baby Dragon behind this. Guards as well. Okay, Inferno Tower now from Kicks to defend this. It's going to be tough to take that down before it gets split in the pups. Yep, definitely not. Meanwhile, this Lava Hound for Kicks is getting through, but he's not going to get there with the Mega Minion.
Oh, and that's a good Miner coming through it.
Oh no,
Double
two miners.
Yeah. That's all you have to do, really, just get the chip damage over time, and the Flying Machine is going to take care of all the units, especially the Mega Minions coming from afar. And the guards, once again, doing a pretty good job of guarding against the Lumberjack here once again.
Yep, nothing doing with that Lumberjack. Another push here from Kicks. They just got to kind of win this chip war. A nice fireball there.
Good stuff, and this is going to be the double Lava Hound push. That's not going to tell the full story now. And all this elixir being invested offensively for OP Gaming might just haunt them a little bit later. Double Miner, once again, this is an all-in push for OP Gaming. If this doesn't work out, they're definitely not going to win the game.
Yep, here comes another Miner. The defense not there in time.
The guard missing out.
Yep. Just a fireball will do it, or if a Flying Machine locks on, pick
anything, whatever you do. Pick your poison, you say it, but yes. They didn't pick the poison.
no poison,
no
it's a fireball.
They don't have poison. You can't pick your poison when you don't have poison.
It's a saying, Joel.
You said poison, but they don't have poison. I'll get back to that next time.
It's all right, man. I'll save that one for another time.
When they actually pick the poison.
Yeah, right, yeah. Then it'll be more appropriate, and I'll feel clever.
You know, you feel clever enough today with all the things they've been saying all throughout today. So, job well done, Favorite.
Yeah, thanks.
But all in all, Kicks team, they do pick up the victory. And once again, Southeast Asia on the winning end of things. So set 2 will be underway very soon.
Yeah, they're looking so strong today. I mean, sticking with that Royal Giant Skeleton 2 games in a row, even though despite losing in the first game, they felt like they could make it work. The right choice, absolutely. Of course, here is the Game 1 highlight, I believe. Yes, Game 1. This is the one that OP Gaming did take with their kind of Lava Hound deck that they started out with, which they ended up going back to in Game 3. Game 2, they tried out this Golem Heal thing. Didn't have success with it. The Royal Giant Skeleton. That Giant Skeleton cannot get close enough to the tower to do damage to it with bomb. That bomb just does too much damage. Too much, Joel.
OP Gaming, they're really well known for coming up with these creative picks every now and then, but that's something you can be the hero with all these creative picks out there. You can also be the GOAT as well. And GOAT in the bad way, not the
good way.
Not the
acronym.
Yeah, not the acronym. Greatest of all time. It's not going to be the case for this situation for OP Gaming. You weren't the greatest of all time on this situation because it seems like all this creativity came for naught. It seems like all these things they have prepared in line, theoretically, might have worked out, but in reality, this is a situation where you get when you're trying to heal out a golem, it just doesn't work.
Right, absolutely, and a great pick here to bring the Flying Machine. That is such a good defensive unit, especially when the other team doesn't have Fireball to instantly take it down. It does so much damage. Even though it does kind of break if you look at it the wrong way, if you sneeze on it or something, it does fall apart. But really nice stuff there from Kicks, continuing SEA's domination today. Korea on the back foot. It's going to be all on to Jin TV, who is going up against Lampo here. A very exciting matchup between two very strong players.
But once again, that's a huge pressure going towards Jin TV. Of course, he does 15 hours of practice every single day, and that means that all throughout his experiments, throughout his research, he has found out that the biggest, strongest card in the game is going to be the Mini Horde.
Yeah, we've seen it banned before one time.
We will never know. We will never know
We'll never
how
know.
strong the Mini Horde is until we play 15 hours a day.
Yeah, it's pretty strong. Kind of. Well, nobody plays arrows. You know, it does
Fireball.
die to Fireball. You do lose Elixir there.
Zap.
Yeah, Zap. Yeah, but you can miner ahead of it and still get the minions.
But you know, it's like when Jin TV does something, he always has a reason for it, and we always like, there must be a reason. And it's like, and then when we discovered that reason, we got, wow.
There's a lot of things it could be, because Minion Horde is pretty darn good against a lot of various different things. In the past, when I've seen this ban, it's been because the player wants to use Balloon.
Sure.
They want to use Balloon. So Lava Hound, Balloon, something
Just
like
minion.
that.
Just minion, just bad. Anything will do.
Yeah.
I don't understand the Minion Horde back. That might be a reason why I've never seen a Minion Horde.
Yeah, it's if you follow up, you know, the Balloon with, or if you do Lava Loon, then the Minion Horde is actually a pretty strong counter to it. So, but there's other things you can do as well. It counters a lot of other things. We'll find out very soon what Jin TV has in mind with this ban. This is the first game of the 1v1 here. Let's get going.
It's been a long night, Paperthin, but we're in this situation where we finally see a Minion Horde ban for the very first time in this season. But
Second
Lampo,
time. It's been banned once before.
is it? Okay, I don't think I've seen that one, but for the second time we'll get to see it. The Miner will be summoned through with the help coming in to the Goblin game. But the guards will do a very good job of literally what they're supposed to do at guard things. But you know, they're here. It's a little bit late here in Seoul, Korea, but now getting to this Jin TV situation where we finally get to see a Llama Hound, and you do say maybe a good anti-counter with the Mini Horde being banned out. Now it's going to offer some little bit of stability if you are looking for it.
Yep. So Inferno Dragon to try to counter this, a flying machine here from Jin TV, learning from the other teams. Oh, nice Rascal placements here. Yeah, that's very, very good.
Splendid, actually. That's going to take care of so many things there. You talk about the Inferno Dragon literally safe as it can be, and Mega Minion, nowhere to go.
Yeah, Rascal Boy is getting a couple nice hits in here, doing quite a bit of damage. The poison as well, which will nullify that tombstone.
Jin TV, is he going to face his first defeat?
It could be. Could be. I mean, he's lost a game, but he hasn't lost a set. So this is great stuff from Lampo. I think Lampo has a very good idea of what Jin TV wanted to do here and is countering it very nicely. That Miner getting some very nice damage done there.
Yeah, you were talking about summoning the Miner, summoning that Goblin Gang 6 Elixir put out, where you have nothing. Jin TV just uses that, so there's nothing to do here, even that bad. Very safe to send that forward to defend against that.
Yeah, absolutely correct, Joel. So let's see what Jin TV's got in store for us here at the end. It doesn't have to be Balloon behind this Lava Hound.
Oh no.
But,
Jin TV is gonna go for the opposite side, hoping that the defense isn't there. But that one little Rascal girl, she has gone through rigorous training, and she will do just fine. And that Balloon will there. That's a different story altogether, though.
Yeah, he's looking for this 2x Elixir push here. The Lava Hound and the Balloon going over. The defensive poison coming in, but an offensive poison coming down from Jin TV.
We're going to look at this, what this all leads to. The Infernal Dragon will get that one drop from the Balloon. Otherwise, the blow up will have an explosion for All Together. Pretty good situation for All Together. The Flying Machine in the back. It's still going to get a pretty good decent amount of damage. The Mega Minion still taking a lot of damage forward. And that Miner is not going to be in time. The Miner is not going to be the one to tank out damage from the Flying Machine. 268 down on the tower.
Yeah, you can tell Lampo's frustrated with that. It just wasn't there quite fast enough. Gets a few hits in. This last push here from Jin TV has to work. I think the Poison Lightning should do, or Zap should do this.
Oh. Gets into play, and once again,
doesn't need it.
Shots will come through, and it will be about 3 more seconds before we get into overtime. And the Rascal Girls stranded in the back. They're going to be supported by the Miner on the back here. And the Rascal Girls going to enjoy their time just a little bit here.
Yeah, going to get some shots in on that Mega Minion. There is the Flying Machine on the right-hand side, but Jin TV has a lot of damage done to his King Tower so far, almost down to half health here, so he has to be a little careful when he starts trying to push, and he wants to go for the other King Tower as well.
And it makes sense, because if you go for the left side, that opts the opponent to go defensively on the left side as well. It's not allowing them to go for a King's Tower. So
True.
Smart play by Gen TV to make sure that your opponent has to be on their heels to go for the left defense. And you can see the Rascals once again. The Rascal Girls doing a lot of good work, and the balloon sneakily comes in from the back, and the flying machine is there just to stop the push coming from the balloon, and the balloon will eventually die out, so that's the threat gone. But all these units coming from the left side for Gen TV, and that's going to be Lampo taking a lot of casualties here. 1647 is going to be the count now.
Yeah, it's okay though. Lampo did a bit of damage. He's come out ahead again in the exchanges, so Lampo's finding a way to defend against these Lava Hound pushes. This Lava Hound placement really interesting by Gen TV. You made a really good point, Joel. He's able to cover the left-hand side and soak up some damage with that Lava Hound, and then it turns and goes for that top right tower of Lampo's.
It doesn't seem to matter because it seems like all the damage is still being gone on the left side for Lampo, and Lampo not scared to push that other lane. He doesn't have to go for the King's Tower right now in this situation. He can just go for the left. And 977 currently on that count. Maybe a couple miners away from winning this game.
Yeah, Lampo doing a good job here. Poison Miner, Poison Miner. That is about all he needs to do. He just needs to prevent the Lava Hound and the balloon from getting close, especially the balloon. Tombstone coming down there, preempting a pocket balloon or something like that if Gen TV opted to try it exactly. It's going to, he could do it here though.
The Infernal Dragon, Infernal Dragon, it will get it in time. Zap, all he had to do was trying to get there in time, and all that heavy investment onto the offensive end is not going to allow Jin to get that very good defense on the other end. It's going to take the tower now down to 340, down to 286.
Yep, so Miner Poison Zap, Miner Poison Zap.
That's it.
That's about all you need to do. Well, he's got to stop this balloon though. That balloon cannot get through.
No, just one drop though. Even if they did get that one drop, I don't think it would have been over. I think it's basically a done game for Lampo to take this one poison away, doing 200 plus damage. It's going to be more than enough to take down that second crown, and it will be Lampo from Southeast Asia, one game away now from giving a clean sweep of not only Kicks team, but entire region of Southeast Asia over Korea. They will be 3-0 ahead.
Who would have thought, Joel? We thought coming in here, especially after last season, where the SEA region only won 3 matches total against Korea. They could even that total here today, right now, if Lampo can win this game.
And why not? I mean, if you're looking at the situation for Kicks team, you have Lampo, super talented player, and still on tip-top condition today in his plays, and really no big mistakes made by this player other than that Miner just to defend against that push. But oh my goodness, this kid once again starting to impress us more and more as time goes on. He's getting better and getting very well used to the stage, and now he's really showing himself and showing to the world that he's a very, very decent player.
Yeah, absolutely. Giving Jin TV a run for his money, and Jin played very, very well here. Overall, I don't think he made too many mistakes here, just very excellent timing by Lampo. Of course, you know that Miner that he tried to get the flying machine to lock onto, you gotta try it there. I don't know, he might have just been elixir locked at that point. He might have just not been able to quite do it. So overall, that Miner chip gets it done here for Lampo. Very well played. I'm excited for the next game. These two players are so good. That was a really close game.
Now, do you, out of curiosity, do you think, with no subtitles literally indicating for us, Jin TV, maybe he started slacking, not practice 15 hours a day? But that's another question for another time. But we're going to get to potentially the last game of the night. If Lampo can get another win here, that will be the end of the day. We're going to see if Kicks can do it.
Well, you know, Joel, he might have decided that he needs to eat. He needs to spend some time eating. It's important. It's very important. Jin TV needs to stay healthy. He looks like a healthy guy.
You think so?
Yeah, or maybe gets, maybe gets a little exercise in. He's changing up the routine a little bit. It's very important for esports players to get exercise. People don't realize that.
Sure. But Jin TV, 14 hours a day is what I've been rumored to hear. It's not 15, and that's why he is not undefeated right now.
He's got this. He's got this.
Come on.
I believe. Well, the Bandit coming here and the minions for Lampo. That makes you smell like Rebecca, especially with the Battle Ram. Could be 3 Musketeers as well.
Could just be Bridge Spam.
Bridge Spam, yeah.
Lumberjack being involved in that as well. So
absolutely.
Prince could be a possibility as well. So altogether, this Lecture Wizard is going to do a pretty good job of slowing things down, the Mega Minions. They're allowing the play to come through. Once again, the Bandit will allow Lecture Wizard to stay alive here, and the charge will be heading, very nicely done with the Zap from Lampo. Very nicely done to mitigate all the damage, especially coming from the bats and also the skeletons from the Great Tombstone.
Yep, so very even exchanges so far between both teams. We can see that golem in Jin TV's hand. So, not that, you know, we were surprised when he has Baby Dragon Night Witch.
This is the most meta deck.
Here comes the battle ram push here. Log to try to counter it, some minions to cover. Oh, okay, gotta use the tornado there, does Jin TV.
Okay, just trying to reel it in. The Baby Dragon just to get its attention is what we was trying to do. So very successful there, but losing a lot of elixir in that trade.
Yeah, that's not the greatest trade you want there. The Electro Wiz comes down, takes down the Baby Dragon. Bandit in front, probably gonna see the Tombstone. Yep.
Cover that Zap Dragon probably as well. Yeah, Zap will come down, but not good enough to get the charges. So
just a little late.
So wasted 2 elixirs, if I have to say for myself, and the golem does come through and gotta offer the Mega Man on defense to go for all this defense onto those barbarians for the battle ramp, but still gonna get pretty good swipes here. 1298 on the right side now.
Yep. And here comes the P.E.K.K.A from Lampo.
Oh man.
It is one of the best counters to the golem. Both poisons coming down for both players. Bridge spam here for Jin TV.
I can absolutely sense that Jin TV is absolutely sweating right now, seeing that P.E.K.K.A. in. What is he to do? The minions are coming through, just gonna destroy the Baby Dragon. The P.E.K.K.A. is so healthy, and oh man, looking for a counterattack now.
This is really tough for Jin TV here.
Oh, this is bad.
Battle Ram coming in behind it. He doesn't even need to split push.
Wonderful. Okay.
Oh, okay. No, the charge hits. That's a big deal. He did not have that tornado ready in time.
You know, he got the defense in time. 806 on the right tower is not the worst thing in the world, but look at that elixir count. Yeah, Lampo is so far in, he absolutely knows it.
Yeah, this is definitely Lampo's game to lose at this point.
That's it.
Oh, the charge comes in from the Bandit. Electro Wizard followed up by the Battle Ram. All it will take is one more poison.
That's it. Just cycle through. Pretty easy cycle there. Doesn't even need it.
Nope.
Go for the win.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Wow. Lampo.
Korea has absolutely been torn apart.
Gone. Just decimated. Just incredible stuff. I mean, props to OGN. They took it to the King of the Hill all on One Crown's back. But overall, this is not what we expected out of Korea today.
That's not the faces I've been looking to see from today's game after all the games are done and said and done and over with. But that's a basic defeat.
Yeah.
If I've ever seen one myself, OP Gaming, as along with all the other Korean teams out there. Obviously, we didn't see Sandbox, but OG and Entus, Kingzone, absolutely defeated.
Yeah.
All across the board.
Just crazy today. I mean, the only Korean player who won a set was One Crown.
Was it?
That's it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it all went to set. You don't went to set 2.
Yeah, just I'm like looking at my notes. I'm like, yeah, nope, all right. Expo Master Big Daddy lost. Ho lost. Okay, the end of that. Wee-chan and Chasu lost. Jin TV lost, and then.
Well, now that I think of it, it's pretty easy. We never went to set 3 other than that.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Southeast Asia.
Awesome day for them.
An awesome day.
Awesome day.
And it's really a re-clarification as to what their status right now is in this league. And
yeah.
Zero Asia, we've been laughing at Southeast Asia. Maybe it's too obviously saying they are the weakest region, but oh no, they are not the weakest region right now.
They have done their homework. They have come to play. They are showing some really strong stuff here against South Korea. Now there's still 2 more days to go, so 5 more matches to be played. Of course, I'm excited to see this. I loved what I saw out of SCA today. Lampo taking down Jin TV.
Incredible. Lampo has just been once again defining superstar status at a very young age.
Yeah.
And really now looking towards the status, what we can expect from this guy. And oh my goodness, when you can defeat Jin TV like that.
Yeah. 2-0 him.
You're doing something right.
Yeah, I mean, the first game was pretty close, but that second game was not close at all. He had a great deck. Well, we're gonna get in. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get into an interview with
네, 저희 다시 인터뷰로 돌아왔습니다. 오늘은 정말 동남아의 날이 아닌가라는 생각이 들 정도로 멋진 모습 보여줬습니다. 마지막 킥스의 람포 선수와 이야기 나눠보도록 하겠습니다. 또 영어 써야 되네요. Congratulations! 엄청난 경기 그거밖에 몰라서. 자, 인터뷰 한번 나눠보도록 하겠습니다.
We're
먼저
gonna go on to the interview.
들어보도록 하겠습니다.
你的感想现在如何？
How you felt about today's stage?
아주 기쁩니다.
Super happy about it.
자, 시즌 1과는 다르게 시즌 2에
Well, then season
지역에서 굉장히 좋은 모습을
we do see
순위로
a
봤을 때
lot
굉장히
better
좋은 모습을
performance
보여주고 있습니다.
from the Kicks team
이번 시즌 초반에
altogether.
별로 좋지 않았었는데
Maybe
이번
it wasn't
시즌
the best
계속해서 좋은
for
모습
season 1
보여주고 있는데
altogether for
그거에
this
대한
team, but
소감도
looking a lot better for
들어보도록
season 2.
하겠습니다.
How do you feel about the recent change that you
第
had?
一集相比的话，你现在在维持着一个很好的成绩，对这个呢，你感想如何？
也是一样，很开心啊。
마찬가지로 정말 기쁩니다.
I do feel incredibly happy about our improvements. Really
쉽지
long
않을 것
questions
같기는
lead to
합니다.
really short
자,
answers
이번에
by
또
Lampo.
상대했었던
Very nicely done by the guy.
한국의 에이스라고 봐도 무방할 정도로 이번 시즌 정말
And we were talking about
연전연승이었습니다.
Jin TV being an
진
ace
TV
of the entire
선수를
Korean region,
상대로
but having to defeat
본인이
him
좀 느낌이
2-0
어땠었는지 굉장히
is quite an
궁금하기는 해요.
accomplishment. But how do you feel about that
就
one?
是你刚才对比的 Jin TV 呢，其实是一个很强的选手，然后他一直来就是全胜。你跟他相比过后，你的感想如何？
不错吧？就刚好队友也有帮我想爬组，所以就还蛮轻松的。
나쁘지 않았다고 생각해요. 마치
It wasn't bad.
이제 같은 팀원들이
With my
딱
teammates.
좋은 그 덱을 짜주어서
Definitely
좀
giving
되게
me the
쉽게
best
이기지
deck to
않았나
play with.
싶어요.
That
이거
allowed me
사실 또
to give the
팀원들
advantage
칭찬하기가 쉽지
to win this
않은데
game today.
팀원들
And that's the teammates right there.
이거
Giving off
보면은
the props.
새로이 들어온 선수들이 좀 있습니다.
We do
오늘도
have some new
지역이 여러
additions coming into the
지역이었었는데
team with
새로 또
Martin and
멀리서
also
온
Stitch as well.
팀원
Of course,
좀
with the
어떤지 되게
the newest
궁금해요.
additions,
팀원들이
what has been the
조화가
biggest
잘
difference?
되는지.
其实你队伍有几个新的选手我想问你们那个 teamwork 如何？
其实因为我英文很烂嘛，其实要沟通就有点困难了。
사실 그 소통하는 거는 조금 더 어려워진
in
게
communication wise,
제가 영어를 잘 하지
I'm
못해가지고
not very good at
그 부분이
English,
조금
so
어렵지
speaking
않았나
with Dio
싶습니다.
Stitch is still a bit of a problem.
홍콩에서 또 영어
Hopefully it gets
되는
better.
선수들이 왔어요. 그래서
Don't we
앞으로
all?
좋은 호흡도 보여주지 않을까라는 생각이 들기는 합니다. 이 질문 되게 재밌네요. 치킨을 엄청 좋아한다고 들어요. 치킨.
We heard that you like chicken.
치킨
what's
좋아하긴
your thought on that
벌써
one?
좋아. 치킨 벌써 좋아. 치킨
Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
치킨을
hyped.
좋아한다고 들었는데.
More hype than getting the win.
다른 거 치킨 말고
I
다른
need to
거뭐
buy this guy
좋아하는지.
chicken.
Yeah,
right.
네.
That's what we need to.
炸鸡以外呢，你还喜欢哪一个食物？
好吃的炸鸡。
맛있는 치킨을 더 좋아한다.
I like
치킨을 정말
tasty
좋아하지만
chicken.
맛있는
Is what he
치킨을 더
told me.
좋아한다.
Woo!
Well,
기가 막힌데.
He's a man of wise words. That's a man of wisdom right there. I don't like bad chicken either. I like good chicken. If I can
일요일에
make myself.
샌드박스와 만나게 됩니다.
But you do have Sandbox
샌드박스도
coming in
한국에서
as
정말
the next
잘하는
matchup,
팀으로
and
성적이 나
of
있고
course we know them
가장
as being a
경계되는
very strong
선수
team. And
한 선수
if
어떤
you can
선수가
pick
가장
one
경계되는지
player
궁금해요.
you've been watching out for,
星期
who's
日
that
呢，
going to
你
be?
会跟 Sandbox 一起打。那 Sandbox 呢，也是一个很强的一个队伍。你觉得你最警惕的一个选手是哪一位？
忘记名字。
이름을 까먹었습니다.
I forgot
별로
the name.
경계가 안 되는
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Sometimes I forget your name. So I understand Lambo. He's a great player, and everything can be understood about him.
I forget my own name.
No, don't we all?
각오는 꼭 이기겠습니다.
But I will definitely try my best to
간단하지만
get
그래도
the win.
완벽했었던 그런 또 각오가 아닌가라는 생각이 듭니다.
that
특히나
well
오늘
today,
경기를
but, you know,
통해서 동남아
that's
팀들이
It's a very agreeable day today for all these comments that are coming through.
기대가 굉장히 많이
But
됩니다.
that is going to be
그래서
a Kicks
남포
team
선수의 인터뷰
very
간단히 좀 마무리
successfully
지어보고요.
taking out one of the stronger teams in Korea with
수비력
OP
한번
Gaming
살펴보도록 하겠습니다.
now dismantled after that one in. Kicks team, very nicely done. And that's going to be obviously the ending to all of our 3 series done in this first day, the opening match between Korea and Southeast Asia on Korean home ground. But this is the result.
LLL on the blue side of the board, www on the red. That is not a website address, Joel. That
No!
is SEA taking all 3 games.
And that means that Koreans are the big losers. I remember how I say that 3 times because we have 3 losses. And that's what it is. Korean teams, they need to pick things up.
Yeah.
To be honest, going to day 2, they need to have a momentum. They need to have a mentality status. Saying that, if they lose one more series,
Yeah.
absolute embarrassment for the country.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, fortunately tomorrow, Sandbox going, very strong team. We didn't get to see them today. They will be there tomorrow. they absolutely are capable of riding the ship here for Korea. OG and Entus is worrying, but I still feel good about Kingzone, DragonX, and OP Gaming. Jin TV did suffer his first defeat today. Just a very nicely, well timed out, well thought out game by Lampo. He really kind of guessed what Jin TV wanted to do, especially in that first game. I really felt like he had a pretty good idea of what Jin TV wanted to do.
Great game coming in from today, and that leads to our standings. After all that, Kicks is the best team in Southeast Asia, and no one's gonna argue against that. They've been looking fantastic, even in their 2v2, along with Lampo's efforts coming from that 1v1. They are now set on this specific roster with Dio Stitch and Martin looking so good on that 2v2, even able to beat out the 2v2 of Uchan and Chashu. Lampo is going to be there for that 1v1 to create stability for that team, and there's no team in Southeast Asia, maybe other than HQ Esports. They're looking stronger right now in that current region.
Yeah, and they've got a deep roster. They've got Dylan, who won his 1v1 against Carolus, who we saw. He's done pretty good so far for Chaos Theory. Thank you. So they're very deep as well. Like, they've got a lot of very good players. I can't wait. Here's tomorrow's matchup, guys. Sandbox versus AHQ. That should be a banger of a match, as Simon would say. OG and Entus.
Absolute banger.
Absolute banger.
Banger is what he would say.
Yeah, OG and Entus versus Bren Esports for our second match. OG and Entus really on the ropes, even more so now. And OP Gaming versus Chaos Theory to round things out. Some excellent games. SEA looking so good. But we'll be back here at the Seoul OGN East Stadium, 7 p.m. Korea Standard Time.
It is ongoing and ongoing for 2 more days. And we're going to see Sandbox go up against HQ for the very first time in this season. But HQ, we haven't seen them today, but don't forget how good they actually are. Talk about Master Hong in that 1v1 and the rest of the players, Xhaka in the lineup. And these guys are definitely something to look out for. So going to tomorrow, we're going to be already very much excited to get the first match on the way. But all these 3 series, once again, putting a big question out there for Korea.
I'm really excited. I love what I'm seeing out of SEA. This is really hype. These regions are starting to get closer and closer in skill level. It used to kind of feel like in Season 1 that Japan was just, better than everybody else, more or less. Yeah, you had Kingzone, DragonX, and Korea playing very well, but otherwise it was basically Japan dominating things. Now everybody is kind of coming closer together. Korea and Japan went 4-4 last week. SEA 3-0 so far. Woo! Good stuff.
Next matchup I want to see, Southeast Asia versus Japan. Then we'll finally know what that trinity looks like. So altogether, Korea came into day 1 of today of the week matchup thinking that their home ground advantage will help them out. But whoa, slow down there, boy, because it seems like Southeast Asia, they came here to play, and they're absolutely playing out of their minds. And currently 3-0 up in the scoreboard and looking to extend that even further from tomorrow and Sunday. Oh, man, we should be very, very scared of what they are able to do against Korea.
Yeah, it's been a real pleasure to watch this today. Really just solid play all around. Really good at kind of knowing what their opponent wants to do and bringing the proper counter decks. I mean, especially in that, against Jin TV, a guy who's just a very solid player. Lampo did awesome. I loved it.
But that's going to be it for us, guys. We're going to get on to you guys tomorrow. So we will see you tomorrow for more Clash Royale action. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back tomorrow. So join us then.